Welcome to Kranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Kranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. Buenos noches, good night. How you doing, YouTube land? It's Sunday evening. I just watched my Knicks play the Charlotte Hornets. Game is over. Time to talk to my people. How are you doing? How are you doing this evening? Bless up, everyone. Oh, somehow I can't see my comment section. What's happening? Oh, here it is. Aborted. I'm not come enough this evening. Wait. Good night, everybody. DJ. Hey, me, I was about to name a DJ. It's a gigs, what I say. I'll call you a gigs right now. Even though you call yourself exquisite. Good night, exquisite. Triples. Why? DJ, you have enough comment tonight. I look on them. Vacation. Johnny Powell. Bunny Ruggs. Bunny Ruggs, me must see a name for Bunny Ruggs. Bless up, everyone. Good night. Welcome to the Kranky Live and Balanced View podcast show. We're talking some Jamaica football. Probably one of my last comments on the Reggae Boyz for a little while. I think unless something comes up, I think we have started beating it to death. And but it's worth talking about because a lot has happened. We're gonna have a conversation tonight about what transpired, and I've been hearing a lot of comments lately. People are upset and frustrated. Some people still can't believe. Bless up, Vibings. I have likes for a spoken word. And some like it in a vibe. Some like it, vibe. Some like it. Some like it that way. It worked for me. Don't change that. We go to the World Cup, people. Every time I see a World Cup comment me here recently, say FIFA is thinking about if Iran doesn't come to the World Cup, have a playoff with the top 4 teams who were part of who didn't make the World Cup, but were part of the playoffs, like Italy, a couple Asia team like UAE. I mean, I look at Jamaica name, you know. Jamaica name. We say, boy, are they going to include CONCACAF region, but it doesn't look so. And the FIFA they want to get Italy in the World Cup. We know that. FIFA is all about money, so we know that go. What are you talking about, Ronman? Ronman Security, what are you talking about? Okay, Bunny Ruggs. What was that name before Bunny Ruggs? You see, you change your thing. It's an interesting time, actually. CM system, CM structure, CM leadership. By the way, people, some of the things I talk about tonight, I read them because I jot them down, some I forget. Because I say people that say, Kranky, read. Well, me can't read. I'm not sure everybody else can read. Some people can't read, but I criticize you reading. I jot down ideas, because I can't remember everything. I get old now. A lot of it is just some people like to wing it. I wing it when I feel like wing it, but sometimes I jot down certain things. Because I don't want to forget certain things I want to say. And see the agenda inside of the description in the thumbnail for the show. We don't miss certain things. Me not talk about no EPL football this evening. For a good reason. I'm depressed all day yesterday, people. I can't talk about me depressed about. The football was as such. It was so bad, I can't talk about it. So I don't want to talk about no Arsenal and City win the Premier League because they look like they might win the Premier League. We're good at choking. We're like Jamaica. Arsenal had a soup EPL to win. Soup. They win yesterday and go by 12 points. City have 2 games in hand. But like Jamaica, we snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. We were wonderful in that. Brilliant yesterday. I think we had like 30% possession at home against a mid-table team. So we don't want to talk about Arsenal. We talk about Jamaica. Now, I was listening to a reggae program last week and I hear a caller. I don't call out nobody's name. On both Sports Explosion and KLS Omega Radio, saying we should boycott. They're going to boycott the Reggae Boyz and we should boycott Reggae Boyz. And I thought maybe I should come and talk about that. Right? I just seen the thumbnail. It's a boycott. But it's a boycott with a question sign. I say boycott, boycott. And I say boycott with a question sign. So let me take some comments first. Let me start jumping at it. Because we're not going to dilly-dally tonight. And by the way, people, I take phone calls. So if you don't want to call, expressing a perspective, I may probably do some polling too, as to should we boycott, should we not boycott, why we should boycott, who to blame. Event night tonight, event night. So I did yesterday. Kranky, my pronounce my name correctly, even though you said me don't make sense, Reject. No, I'm not about your English. I talk about some other people English. Other people are criticize me, so me run the program. I know people that watch me. I watch man. Anyway, I don't want to go down the road. I'm trying to people. I decided I come in peace. You ever hear that? You from AFTV, I come in peace. I come in peace. I don't want to war with nobody. It's not worth it. It's not worth my time. And we're all in this space, the YouTube space, for different reasons, right? Some because they're trying to generate income. Some because they have something they want to say. Some because they believe that they can do well in this space and they want to communicate their message, whatever that message entails, right? And that's a great thing. And I think the Jamaicans in the Jamaican YouTube space, they should be working collaboratively, even though they're competing. Because to be frank, they're competing, but they should be working collaboratively. Because I hear Determined came on the other night and said, we need to all get together and do X, Y, Z. We have issues in the YouTube space. It's no different from, you see, Maverick and Orville and Zinedine, KLS Omega and Sports Explosion. They're competing and them always throw jabs at each other, right? Somehow the YouTube space has gotten that way too. I mean, I competition thing. I compete with myself. Because I don't make no money, so I must compete. I lose money on the YouTube. So I can't compete with nobody and I lose money. See what I say? So it don't make no sense. I don't competition thing. I do my thing. If it work, you will tell me, based on support me. If it don't work, you will tell me because you're not going to support me. Right? And I've been doing this now for about maybe 2 years come June. And I haven't always enjoyed, I must admit. Sometimes I enjoy it. I do think it takes quite a bit of time to do this really well if you want to do it. I mean, I like to wing things. I don't struggle to wing things, but I don't like to wing things because I'm trying to communicate certain messages, certain information. I believe in being authentic and being credible and always thinking about what should people be informed of and how can I get information from you to inform that view. And somebody called me today and it wasn't the best conversation because they didn't say boycott, but they want to pressure the JFF. But the method they want to employ to do so, I wasn't in agreement with the method because I don't think it's going to be effective. And sometimes when you have an idea and you think it's a great idea and it's not well received, it doesn't land well. And I get the sense the person thought the idea was brilliant and we didn't align in terms of how we thought about it. And I hope they're not offended, but if I don't believe something is going to work, I can't be a hypocrite and say, oh, yeah. Think about X, Y, Z. I'm just going to say it ain't going to work. We got to rethink it. Right? Triple says, Kranky, I'm giving you a week. No, what I say? Let me look at some of this. There's people may have problem reading and the man mess up the doctor mess up my eye now. Right, I'm gonna wear glasses again. And I glasses thing, sir. We're not boycotting no Reggae Boyz unless they tell me which coach should replace. I have a feeling they want a coach who is pro JPL players. I don't want that. Okay, so you think Rudolph is not pro JPL anymore? Rudolph get converted. Rudolph won't win. Bonnie Brugg said the JFF is not the problem, the administration is. Oda says, yeah, people like Toxic Boss and other people who take over certain YouTube channels from YouTubers, no come together, can't trust the other YouTubers. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason for YouTubers to war, actually. I don't. People, so somebody said, so Triple says, I'm giving Kranky a week to war. Me no like war, you know. Me not run for no war, but me not like war thing, people. Come on. These are kids I'm in the space with. I'm a seasoned person. These are kids, and I hope they all do well, and some of them will do well. And I hope it continues. I hope they get hundreds of thousands of subscribers and do well. People throw shades at me, but I'm not out there throwing shades. People throw shades, and if people throwing shades at you, that means they do something right. That's what I see. You see, Steve Naismith always not war with somebody. Steve Naismith make $25 million a year. Me, I lose money on YouTube, so or me I complain. I should not complain if people are war with Steve Naismith, war with me. So there you go. Oh, and I say, yes, my concern too. As much as I don't like how Speid descended to the role, locals will not use overseas players. Speid is still not going to go away from them. Yeah. That's come up a lot lately, actually, which is when Coley had this interview the other day, it appears initially that he wasn't supportive of overseas players, or I shouldn't say that. He was supportive of giving a youth an opportunity. I use a more regular term. And my question to him was, frame around the concept that whatever we do should be based on meritocracy. And he sort of repositioned his answer to say something similar. So we'll see if what happens with the coaching situation. Everything rules. We know Rudolph's gonna get it. Them a pontificate and do what them do. He might get it. So yeah. What do I think about work? What do you mean, Princeton? What do I think about work? Elaborate, Princeton, elaborate. What I can say, though, is that some of you who are very young, as I talked to my nephew about this, Miss Sarafuna. I'm not telling that Miss Sarafuna. Given where AI is going, Miss Sarafuna. I don't know what I know, though. I don't know what the world do, but I don't know what someone know, though. When you're really young, like people who are my age and I get old and, you know, them either retired or come close to retirement, and if them save up some money, them we all right. At least for the time being. But other people who are look job, and if you're a computer scientist, and even computer scientist, you're code, you're a software engineer, you're accountant, you're a lawyer, especially first year lawyers, you're a paralegal, enough I know. You do check out a register, enough I know. I'm sorry for no. I'll do some more show on this, guys. That get worse. Some of them more show. I've been warning people about this, but some people don't take it serious and think a joke thing. By the way, people, less than half of you have hit the like button. That's not a good thing. I heard if Jamaica was hosting the World Cup, they still wouldn't qualify. Yeah, I saw somebody with a comment, and we probably think they probably say the stadium not gonna work well, so we have to disqualify. No, can't work it. No can't work it. But yes, Paula seems said what? Paul said boycott all. J. Ross, I like that speed that somebody brought from my opinion. I just think he's a good enough coach. I thought he was supposed to be the best in Jamaica. Would that work? No, far from it. Barely a struggle. What are you talking about? Barely a struggle. Steve Nay's not getting rich. Steve Nay rich, but you make $25 million a year. You're not getting rich. You're rich. And you have serious FM. You have one YouTube show. You have one production company. I might do well, man. Donald said, did Speid choose himself? The board going to meet for the first time to announce the coach. So who choose the coach, not the board? Nah, Speid has been chosen. Normally the way it works in the JFF, the way I know it works is this. The president make the decision in concert with Rudolph, and then tell the board for just rubber stamp. That's what we hear. That's what we hear. So the president made a decision, consult with Rudolph, so Rudolph, what you think? And Rudolph say, yeah man, good. All right, tell the board to just stamp it and no bother with it. Cause if they don't stamp it, we not get the parish president no money. So no stay there if I'm but I don't want to stamp it. We don't if I'm but. That's what I mean. No, said that's how I've been. That's I've been told that exactly that way, but that's why I interpret it to work. Actually, yeah. That decisions are made by the president, by the way. Even though we think that he's not strong enough or whatever we want to call it, but he has to sign off. So they say Kranky, only 2K showed up for the Reggae Girls game. Embarrassing. We don't talk about that tonight because I don't want to talk about boycott. Like I never boycott before. Like I know always boycott. Someone want to talk about boycott. I'm not trying to work for nobody. We not always boycott. We not only come for show. We not got on game. So no boycott, no boycott. We not spend no money. We not got on game. No come like me, I run my boat. At least me go game sometime when the game them around. Go game at Jamaica, me go game at Dallas, me go game at other place, St. Louis. So man not got no game. I don't want to boycott. We don't know why not boycott. We don't boycott on yourself because they boycott already. We have to laugh and say no boycott, you know. Why am I telling a star? No. So, you know, people vex, them frustrated, and they say, boy, we have to do something. A man come to them and protest, and he want to do all this thing in terms of the protest and who he want to go to, what he want to do. When he talk to me, I text myself, say, I bet him not do no night. He might tell we if he go do it. He might give me orders. Him not do no night. I'm going to think it will work. So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to want to dismiss nobody's idea. Okay, if you think it will work, then go do your idea. You watch ya. You watch ya. Now, a number of us have platforms, and the platforms do reach a decent amount of audience. But if you're going to pursue an endeavor, you have to assess your ability to be successful. You have to think, what's the probability of being successful, and then make a decision about whether or not it's worth the effort. And unless something worth the effort, I'm not pursuing it. And the big question tonight is, we got to ask the question because we have it in the thumbnail. Should fans and even sponsors boycott the Reggae Boyz? That's the question. Not criticize, not just criticize and complain and run off your mouth. Should you boycott? Is that justified? Is that dangerous? And the question also is, what the heck does boycott mean? Huh? What boycott? When you say boycott the Reggae Boyz, where do it? Can we tell you something? If we think about it, the failure in of itself, because people, I say, revisit the failure, enough. If you think about the failure, how we feel. We take some comment. They go through the failure, then we think about the speed debate, then we not think about, think about, we don't think about for and against boycott, right? That's important. So, what did vacation say? Speed, according to Carvel Stewart. Is Carvel Stewart from our view? Sabotage Whitmore. Whitmore was 5 coaches ago, and if he was comfortable enough to sabotage local legend, Hall Hagrimson, a host of players and coaches. Yeah, but Whitmore sabotaged himself too. Whitmore the one said him when the English guys they come about like Antonio and become play and what Whitmore do? Whitmore sabotaged himself. Whitmore acted like a 5-year-old. Pouting. He had a coach. He might pout because he don't want to play the Englishman them. So he put them over to go feel. That's not a leader. And you make big up Whitmore, so my most qualified coach in Jamaica. But that's not being a leader. That's being led. That's let your feelings get involved. If you're a coach, your feelings can't get involved, people. You have an objective, go satisfy the objective. So we can't support Whitmore with that. We have a field campaign. We weren't unlucky now. We weren't unlucky. We almost did it, but it should not be an almost thing. We're supposed to do it. It's still not made that a joke thing. We had some talent. Diaspora, local players, experienced players. It was the greatest squad, but it was not really a weak squad. And even though the recruiting wasn't what it should be, it was a good enough squad to qualify. We had some players supposed to come in like a Greenwood and a Max Arians and a Cameron Archer. None of them not turn up. And a Tyreek Mitchell, none of them turn up. We got Rico Henry in, but he only played 1-1/3 game or 1-1/4 game. We had some injuries. Demara Gray only played about some of the game them. Leon Bailey. I don't think Leon Bailey played any game actually. Leon Bailey didn't play no game. Leon Bailey didn't play on game for Reggae Boyz. He played a little bit for Congo against Net. Leon Bailey was Congo's best player. So I don't really play on game for Reggae Boyz. He was Congo's best player. I look when the stats, Congo's best player. So I can't say Leon Bailey play during the qualifier. Right? So when that team feel like how we feel, it was system, it was selection, it was tactics, it was leadership, it was interference. And people ask the question, as we've been asking, who is most culpable? Who owns it? Who owns it? Who owns it? Who is most culpable? So now tell me, who's most culpable for the Reggae Boyz failure? I'm curious to know. Me have coaching staff, so I said mistake me make. So it's the coaching staff, players, combination. I should be administration. I for change it. You know what I do? I'm in a rush. But who's most culpable? Players, coaching. You know, we should put Rudolph Speid separately now. I'm in a rush right to my pool. But who's most culpable, people? Tell me who's most culpable. Because me I try to figure that one day out. People say President and Speid. President and Speid. Wow. Oh, they say Brian Gardner, I blame the most. He picked the squad and starting lineup. What happened to Marion Gardner? You know about Marion Gardner, people? Marion Gardner just disappear if I face of the earth. People, get the likes up to over 100 and then we can start 100 plus. We have 65. Get over 100, please. No, we have 86. Not on the poll, McLaren. All right. Some say Speid. Wait, we have such divergent views as it relates to who's most culpable. I would think a lot of people would have said Speid, to be honest, because he was architect from front to back. How I can see? That's what I expect. How I can say, three people responsible for it. Speid, and Speid. Yeah. Now, if we think about the debate we're having now, Bonnie said, whoever McLaren reports to, that person should have acted when he first realized that McLaren wasn't good. That's Speid. Good night.
Kranky.
Yes?
When I say talk to Ricketts?
I haven't spoken to Ricketts long time. I call him and say, I'll call me back. He'll call me back.
When the baby them couple years ago dead, well, unfortunately died down KPH, right?
Mm.
And this happened under multiple administrations from your group, right? Who you give the ultimate blame?
It depends, right? It all depends, you know. I always give the blame to leadership.
To the highest leader, right?
Yes, the highest leader.
And when you think about it, there's never really been any brute force leadership in Jamaica where somebody mess up and the top leader reprimand them or fire them or whatever the case is. Also, the government really and truly, especially in the health sector, they don't put enough resources in place to kind of, in some sense, prevent these things, you know? So sometimes, you know, the people them where say manage the hospital, sometimes it's not even there for, because guess what? The resources aren't there to safeguard people or newborn babies from certain diseases or whatever the case is, right? So in terms of who's supposed to allocate the funds or make sure, say, him and keep a close eye that things are being done, when him not do that, then other people, in some sense, is the scapegoat, right? I've always said, as much as Rudolph Speid messed up this whole process, in some sense, the blame for me comes down, it goes towards Ricketts. I think he's too silent. I don't think he's a leader of men. You get me, I say? I've never really seen where he has taken responsibility for messing this up. I remember after McLaren, read him letter or whatever, him say him get see the signs from early. Well, if you see the signs from early, you should have fired the man.
Well, you saw the side before it started.
Yeah, but me not the president. And me can't fire the man.
You said the man with the brother should never have been hired. You said you beat the man so bad, even me feel bad to You beat him so bad. By the way, people, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Go ahead.
I just one English coach competent in our football in recent years, and it has been Eddie Howe. The rest, they have been, and I'm going to give Graham Potter some credit because I'm gone at the World Cup, right? And I think he was always a good coach at Brighton. When you go to Chelsea and get these big jobs, especially with Todd Bowley, them kind of make you look bad, right? So yeah. I think Bowley, not Bowley, I think Potter was competent to an extent, But England, they haven't been blessed with good coaches in a sense, So, when you have an Englishman who take a job, it's always a risk, especially when there's something, when you're vying for something as prestigious as, qualifying for the World Cup or just anything major in some sense for that respective team, But, Ricketts for me, I was watching Center Circle and, I don't remember the guy's name, but him there said, like, you cannot take Rickett words seriously, Him said this, but him not live up to him say.
Well, sometimes he says things and it doesn't seem like he have all the facts, right? So he said Greenwood definitely come in, right? And he never have all the facts of Greenwood coming on that. He said Rudolph Speid and they're saying Rudolph Speid and Coley, right? And one see them as coach, blah, whatever. And then he might backtrack and say he misspoke or whatever. So him saying we want to resign. That's a mistake. Somebody say him saying resign. We're going to the World Cup and then we're not hear nothing. So he said things sometime which I don't know why he does it without having clear, definitive answers that can stand up to scrutiny, that are factual.
I think a lot of the reasons as to why people aren't vocal against him in a sense is because he's always behind the scenes, So in terms of Mr. Speid being the one that's more outspoken, even if something isn't his fault in a sense, him always will get the blame for that specific thing. You know what I'm saying? But Rickett, surely, he would have had his hand in this whole process from becoming the president the first day, missing out on the first World Cup, then fast forward to now, making statements that him done with foreign coaches, blah, blah, blah. Listen, we haven't had success with foreign coaches and we also haven't had success with the local coaches, right? And even at the time when Tapa was the coach for the national team, he wasn't qualified enough in the region to go up against the big countries in any sense. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe that Speid as well is qualified enough for the next couple of years to go up against the USA, etc. There's always a coaching aspect to the game of football. You know what I'm saying? And even with your side, Arsenal, even though you have good players, there's also the coaching aspect where the coach have to take responsibility in terms of what he does with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So if Jamaica believe or Speid believe, it's just about getting the best players, yeah, that's one aspect of it. But you also have to coach the team against competent teams. And that's one thing that Hallgrimsson did well. Yes, we weren't as good as the USA, Mexico, Panama, but we got results against those teams. Why? Because Hallgrimsson was a good coach. Even here, Bibi reiterate the same point. He saw something in Hallgrimsson. He was a tactician, despite having limited quality in certain individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of Coley, I'm listening to the show and, I think Coley's a very good guy. I think he carries himself well. Sometimes Speid can be very combative in press conferences and he come across the wrong way, right? So I think Coley's level-headed. Some of the things him say, it rubbed me the wrong way. I don't have a ground to stand on to say Coley should be the national coach, other than the fact that maybe I just want to see a change. I think when you talk football and you talk about most assistant coaches and trying to make a case for them as to why they should get a head coaching position, sometimes it's just you want to see a change in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Michael Carrick, for example, United, they've been through the biggest of the biggest coaches in a workout. So for me, there's no guarantee in football. So if Carrick become the coach, then that's it. But I mean, in some sense, I can look back at what Carrick did at Middlesbrough, whatever the case is, and say, okay, then fair enough, maybe give Carrick a chance. But Mikel Arteta, when he got the job, who could have said, oh, this is what Mikel Arteta was about to get the Arsenal job? Him get it, him do well so far, right? And you have many other coaches like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I do believe that the question that arises is this. Do you have to coach? How do you get to coach a national team? You normally have to have a strong resume at the club level. and not just the club level, but a certain level at club level to then be viewed that way, right? So you see, to get a Brazil job, you have to be like an Ancelotti, who was performing at the highest level. The challenge for Rudolph Speid is that he hasn't really coached at a high level. The JP, as we talked about before, is ranked 10th in CONCACAF, 130th in the world. The Caribbean has not done well in football, apart from more recently Haiti going to the World Cup. So and we haven't beaten an MLS team. We haven't even scored against an MLS team, even though Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers have gone, have won out in the Caribbean region and gone there. So it's an issue to say you're qualified when two key things. You haven't beaten teams that you're supposed to beat. That's one. And two is you can't point to the players you have developed at a certain level to say, you know what, I have those skill sets.
Yeah.
And that makes it difficult then to substantiate that you should, or to justify you giving such a large responsibility or such a huge job.
Let me tell you this, right? One of the issues that Jamaica faces in these, meetings when selecting individuals is that I don't believe that they can strongly identify talent, whether it's the players for the teams or coaches, right? We have seen across the national level for many teams that the coaches that would have gotten some of these jobs weren't the most prestigious in terms of resume at the club level, right? However, the people that would have hired them, despite them not having success at the club level or having a long resume, they would have seen something in them, right? And for the most part, those coaches would have been successful. You have the guy in Argentina, you have the guy that was at England, you remember him, Southgate, I believe his name was, Southgate. And you have a few others that you can look at that, Didier Deschamps, for example. I don't remember a resume of Deschamps at the club level, right? But you would have gotten
the job. But here's what you're missing in that conversation. So people believe that the players have played at the highest level and they have gone through the training because they've been trained by some of the best coaches. And if they express some level of, or indicate some level of intellect, and they indicate that they can build relationships and manage men, then they can evolve into that role, right? So Arteta, if you hear people at Arsenal talk about him, or Sterling from Man City, they'll talk about Arteta being the person who's giving them the coaching on a day-to-day basis on the field, demonstrate he can actually coach players, right? And then people see he was a captain while he played. So they look at all these attributes and say, you know what? I can see this person in this role, even though it's a big role.
But that's what I'm saying. He would have still been a talent identification process despite Arteta not having a head coaching job in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But people that would have been given the role to find the successor to Arsene Wenger, they would have went out of their way and they would have looked at Arteta and be like, you know what? We see something in Arteta where we've heard things about him, we have seen things, and we believe that he can be the man to do the job. And as I said before, you have many coaches like that would have gotten jobs, and to some extent, they would have been successful, But many of us, including myself, I don't trust the JFF where they're looking at Mr. Rudolph Speid and saying, you know what, Speid definitely has the talent to be that guy to lead Jamaica to the World Cup in 2030. I don't see Speid as that, and I don't think they can identify anyone of that sort. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think what happens is this. Normally what happens, and you see this in the NBA and the NFL, when you're an assistant coach for a coach that has a lot of success, the perception is that coach wouldn't employ you unless you brought some skill set, and they wouldn't retain you unless you were doing the job. So you see a lot of people are disciples of, if it's a Don Shula, or what's his name at Kansas City, Andy Reid, or Pep Guardiola, or Marino. Just look at the coach who coached under them. And you'd be surprised, some of them, how many of them have gotten big jobs because of the role they played in those environments. Yeah. And so it's very difficult, as you're saying, to identify if you're ready to step up to the next level. So, for example, Coley could say this. Look, Schaefer saw me in Jamaica, brought me in. He was a coach who, as Coley had indicated, Bayern wanted. He's coached at a very high level. And he wanted to take me anywhere he goes because he leverages me and he loves what I bring to the table. And I can attest to this, having managed a global team, that when you have very good employees, you don't really want to, you'll give them up, but you don't really want to give them up because they make you look good. You cannot rely upon them. You know the work they do. You know they can get the job done. You know they take direction well and they have a lot of potential to excel. So you want them on your team and you want to leverage them. And I think he can point to Schaefer after what Schaefer has done for him, but at the same time, how to leverage him The only thing I would say about Coley when he speaks, and he has to be careful about this, he speaks as if he was the head coach. Right? He speaks as if he was the head coach. Now, he may actually believe he was the head coach because sometimes that happens. You're doing all the work and somebody getting the credit.
No, but he did allude to that, because when he was talking about the final of the Gold Cup, right? He alluded to that as if he was in some
doing all the work, right? And that happens sometimes with people, right? Some people take the credit, but they don't give you do all the work and they get all the credit, right? And sometimes they'll take you with them anywhere they go because they know you're gonna do all the work and they get all the credit. Now you're gonna get some benefit, but at some point when do you cut the neighbor string and say, you know what, I gotta go off on my own? And do they provide the avenues and do they provide the opportunity for you to go out on your own and do your thing? Good managers do that. Yeah. To
be fair to Coley, talk like the head coach, because I've said if Coley's ambitious, Kranky, he should not be the assistant coach to Rudolph Speid. You have went out there, you have educated yourself, right? Even if I'm not a big advocate for you to get the coaching job, I mean, surely now is the time where you should be advocating for yourself in terms of being the head chef in the kitchen to lead this restaurant forward, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So
well, that's tough, sense. Right? Because you don't want to be out there saying you should be the head coach when you know someone who has more leverage in your organization than you also aspire for that role.
Well, yeah, but I'm still
you have to find a subtle way for it to be known. First of all, you got to have options, because you got to be able to get up any day and say, you know what, I don't want to do this. It seems like he has options, by the way. The way he speaks, it seems like he has options. He was saying he wouldn't do anything. He spoke as if he didn't. What I heard from him, and I'm interpreting this, is almost as if, look, I'm comfortable financially. I have options. I can do some media work, whether in Jamaica or in Asia. I'm in no hurry to get back to the Middle East, given what's transpiring. If I'm not considered for the role in Jamaica as head coach, I'll think of other opportunities.
They can hire him for the World Cup coverage, Asia.
He probably be hired by somebody.
And I say you can hire him too.
I can hire him. Me not have a big enough platform to call it.
I ain't have the Middle Eastern money. More like that.
I have no Middle Eastern money. Cause Middle Eastern print money. Even though the money I dry up nowadays with the Strait of Hormuz lockdown, but them still have enough dollars.
But as them say, it's full speed ahead. It seems like so.
It looked that way.
Yeah, but bless up still.
Yeah, man.
But you're good at that still, because I know say I go through some trying times and things. So.
No, I'm great actually. Well, let me stop lying. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm hoping they can stop the bleeding next week. Even though I'm not. Look, I said this to people, and people sometimes think that Kranky is very arrogant when he talks about this. And I have people who have talked to football a lot, and they think I don't have respect for football coaches, and I'm getting myself in trouble tonight by saying this. I don't think the most brilliant minds are in football. I think when somebody come along like Pep and do something like he does, everybody like he walks on water. Well, if you go to the NFL, people do that every day. Like the NFL is probably the most complex, NFL football is the more complex sport you can play. Very, very complex, very, very challenging, so much iterations of it. And football is archaic and come up with something new every 10 years, and then people walk around like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm sorry, but total football was being played by the Dutch in the 70s. Pep didn't start total football. Huh?
We the people, we are here for you, so if you don't want to just
I'm gonna say this. Arteta, he'll still have a job because he makes a lot of money for the Crankies, but his game management, I've been saying this for the last 5 years, is atrocious. He's picking his squad, picking his team, putting him on the field, is atrocious. He may be great behind the scenes where he coaches, because the players rave about him and what he does. I don't know if they're trying to butter him up. But his game management, like Zubamende, everybody walk about how great Zubamende is. Really? Man is 5'2", have no speed, is not physical, pass sideways like Cargill. What are we talking about? Oh, I'm going to get beaten for the Cargill comment. What are we talking about? Anyway, it's gonna be a long month coming up. Long month. We have snatched, like Jamaica did, we're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Jamaica already snatched it, and we are searching for it. And we sure as hell look like we're going to find it. But thanks for the call, sir. People, That was pressure. In coffee, give me a hard time and then pretend next time I call about Jamaica. In coffee, give me a hard time about Arsenal and how we're struggling really badly. I think we lost 3 games in the first about 40 games, and now we have lost 3 of the last 4. Not a good look. Anyway, back to Rudolph. So in Rudolph, we have chronicled this continuously. When it comes to Rudolph Speid, we chronicled this. His 8 roles that he plays. It's 7 or 8 roles. He might do Monroe and Titchfield, 3 at Cavaliers and 3 at JFF. 8 roles he has. Now, if you have 8 roles in a life, you can't do none of them good. You can't know them really, really well. Well, I should say really, really well. It's too distributed. There's only one person. You can't stifle 8 pieces. You can only do so much. And apparently, Rudolph did talk on Sportsmax that he's ready to be JFF, the Reggae Boyz coach. So some people believe that Rudolph orchestrated this. Now, Rudolph was part of the system that failed. And the question is now going to be asked, how does he become the lead coach? Is he being rewarded for failure, as a lot of people have said, and is there like accountability? And I think most people are not happy with Rudolph getting the job as head coach. So in that vein, we should think about it this 2 ways. Should we boycott? What's the case for boycott? And what's the case against boycott? And Kranky will give you his view at the end. I talked about myself in the third person now, as to my perspective. Case of boycott. Can you get accountability through pressure? Fans, as I got a call this evening that I talked about, believe nothing changes without pressure. Money talks. If sponsors boycott, even though Adidas get him an 8-year contract, but they have other sponsors. Sponsors, tickets, viewership equal power normally. Now, your power get reduced when them have a sponsor for the next 8 years. We don't know what the money number is, because they're not disclose that. And tickets, we'll talk about tickets. So you have tickets, sponsor money, ticket money, viewership money. We can't stop the government money, and the government can't withhold it. And we can't stop FIFA money, because FIFA will pay them. So therefore, if you're boycotts become protest. And what does boycott entail? It's not supporting the organization at all. It's not buying merchandise. It's not attending games. It's not engaging in any shape or form related to the Reggae Boyz. So that's the case for boycott, right? Because you say no accountability, no involvement. And that sounds good on paper, people. That sounds good on paper. And some people, I heard them on various programs, they more boycott. Now, what's the case against boycott? So what's the case of boycott? Right? You're frustrated. You want accountability. You're not going to support because you believe that there has to be change. You want to do like they did in England, or in Europe, I should say, when they were trying to carve out the top teams in all the top 5 leagues or top 4 leagues, and they're going to form the Super League. And then the fans tell them, hell no. And the media probably was even more draconian than the fans in destroying their perspective. Because the big thing about the Super League was they didn't want to have relegation, and fans love relegation, and fans want their team to have a chance, because not all fans are in the big 6, top 6 or whatever. And so fans were able to change that. And the question is, can we do the same here in this part of the world? Now, what is the case against boycott? It hurts the players. And some people say, I don't care what hurt no player. I them feel. But it hurts the players. A lot of players sacrifice who are local and diaspora for the team. And they would get hurt because no fan support, you know that go. It damages the brand. You don't know if you can damage any more than damage already, because when you don't make the World Cup, that's bigger damage that you can get in a supposedly soup zone. But if you damage the brand, you have less money coming in. The chance for more development that we've been pushing for may not materialize. There's a long-term risk in it. When you disengage, and out of sight, out of mind, it's like a lady you date and she go live in another state or another country. After a while, you start wandering and find something else to do, You find somebody to pursue. So you'll find other alternative way to spend your time. And also, let me say this about boycott. When you really love something and it's still available, but maybe not as you viewed before, you still don't want to engage it. And therefore, you're sacrificing your love to prove a point. And here's the thing against boycott, a case against boycott. It's very important. Will your boycott change anything? Because a lot of people had already boycotted the football directly and indirectly. What do I mean by that? So here Rudolph talk about it. And that's what the JFF actually leverages. When somebody asks Rudolph how the fans can like help or get involved or do, the question I think was in the context of how the JFF can leverage a fan and engage a fan. And Rudolph's view was, no, can't go a game because nothing but no leverage and no gain. Because fans don't have no, in Rudolph's mind, fans can't have no say about nothing. They might just commodity. So in his view, from what I'm hearing from him, or what he views it as, and the JFF views it as, like, fans don't turn up for games anyway. And Rudolph mentioned this. It was only like I think there were only a couple of games, maybe the Guatemala game, when we go to qualify for the last set of games, automatic qualification, and which was even sold out. It was only the last game, frankly, against Curacao. We had a really good, really, really significant crowd where it was totally sold out. And if you see the Reggae Girls played the other day, where they said 2,000 people at grandstand, a joke number that, and that stadium that old, 30-something thousand. So the view is that you're not adding any value. You're already boycotting, but you don't realize you're boycotting. It's almost like you're boycotting yourself because you already boycott the JFF and the football because you haven't been going to games. And when I went to Jamaica in last year, June, I was trying to buy a jersey, like on a real Adidas new one. Couldn't find none because people said there's no Adidas outlet selling jerseys in Jamaica. That means locally, even though someone don't run off on them out, I don't buy the jersey them. I foreigner buy them, or diaspora or foreigners buying them. So the support, if you think about home as being Jamaica, you're not providing the support in terms of going to the games and get receipts. And even when the team travel to US, Jamaica probably have over 1 million people here in the States. Most of them don't go to no games. When you go to games, a handful of people yesterday. So the handful of people is both home and abroad. So if you're the JFF, you said to yourself, man, them boycott me. Them can't talk about the football, but them not put money in our pocket. We don't see the revenues go from XYZ to XYZ, so why should we worry about them? Right? And the case against boycott also is stemming from if a local coach is selected, the question is going to be, well, who do you have as alternative coach? And can we afford that person? Because money is always an issue for the JFF. Money is always an issue for a small country. So even though the trust is broken and fans don't trust leadership, they don't trust the direction of travel, they don't trust decisions being made, fans are in a bind. Significant bind. Significant bind, people. Significant bind. It almost seems like there are some passionate fans. We know that, right? People like AQ and Era, they want to go every game. The Australia, them going. Them go to game them. But there are other fans who are on the periphery who talk the football, but they're not support the team. They're not support the team. You can support the team by watching it on TV. So you paramount the money. But you now got a game in National Stadium of Jamaica where most of the money go, after them pay them expenses for stadium rental, you go to JFF and not support the team. And to support Messi. And Messi got Jamaica, no run, go watch Messi. When Jamaica play, not go watch Jamaica. Now, some people say, well, we're not going because JFF and we're not the football and the quality, but if you say you're a patriot and you're a nationalist and it's all about the team and you're about the local players, then who don't want Jamaica Reggae Boyz promote anyway, should be at the game. Stead says, Kranky, do you think Speid would be more effective as the JFF president than the head coach? Yes, I do think so, actually. I actually do think so. Speid is an interesting person in the context of, I've said this before and some people give me a hard time. I don't know what you're talking about, blah. I've said Speid's a very smart person, but I must say this out publicly. I think Speid needs to be a much more of a, how would I put it? More tolerant, more humble, I'm going to use nice terms, more humane. And those attributes are hard, people. They're not easy if you never have them before, So Kranky, wait, and that's why I said all the time, Diaspora is the biggest supporter. Yeah, Diaspora is the biggest supporter. So Kranky said, so you think he's the man for the job? I never said that, Jarvis. I've said you can't reward failure. So my position is clear. The difference between easy man for the job, somebody saying he's more charismatic. Yeah, I think Speid believe the environment. Here's where Speid make a mistake, right? Good night.
Good evening, Kranky. Big up yourself.
Good evening.
Yeah, man, a good vibe. I'm leaving calling, man. Every time I get a chance after work, which I, listening. I always a listen, man,
All right.
and I comment. A while ago, me yesterday, I got use certain words, I want to get me out of phone and turn on Wikipedia and everything so I can translate. Yes. So I
no, man, it's a big word. Simple word.
Yeah. Man, listen to you, man. Listen to Presser, and I must say this to you. Keep on the way of the bro, right? There's a bunch of folks out there who don't like you, and there's some who listen to you, understand? And like what you're doing. So you can't be disturbed by those. Secondly, as it comes to Jamaica football, I see your headlines of boycott. A lot of people, you understand, boycott for a long time and never turn on back. Them just done. But we as a fan group, we are what you call it, we are like all over the place. We're not on the same page. You have some people who are friends with those inside, the administration, talking media people and so forth. And we as fan base, we are so divided because you have some people like Speid, you have some like Wickets, you have some like the other side. And the object is just to look at overall thing that's wrong, right? But Kranky, maybe you can talk till until that kingdom come. If those people in charge don't look at it and want things fixed and things better, there's gonna be no change, sir. What say you?
Yeah, look, we can't change the JFF. JFF is protected by FIFA, right? That's a fact.
Yeah.
They have a process about how you elect leaders for the JFF. They went through the process. They still have a few more years in office. When it comes around again, it's up to it's an interesting construct, because you want to get a certain group of people out, but the voting is only within a certain group, right? And that group is a clique. That group is together. So you can't change it. FIFA had them increase the voting numbers from 13 to over 50. And they were still able to manage it in a way in which they still retain the ability to maintain their position. Yes. And all they have to do is provide support to the clubs and the parish presidents, and I'm good. And by the way, Mir said that JPL go broke. Somebody sent me something the other day. JPL, nothing go broke, but them debt far exceed the money we them have. And them still appeal money to the club. But anyway,
I get into an argument with a person because I'm not going to call their name, but I've dealt with a lot of people inside, and every day me and them argue. Different people inside that. And we are, that's like arguing, we talk back and forth and I express them that they are, them was about themselves and not for the football. Like for instance, I was listening to one of them talk about Haiti, how them qualify for the kids and for all the World Cup is because them get help from FIFA because of all the the storm and disasters that they have, right? And so they put their money to football, right? When they get it from FIFA. What do we do with the money that we get from FIFA? I don't know, but you can't use that as excuse, right? So them get disaster money from FIFA. That's why they qualify, right? These are some of the excuses. It's like some MAGA cult who don't want to admit that things are wrong, in MAGA world right now. Things are wrong with Jamaica football, and until all of us admit it, right? Those who like are those who don't like. Because I tell you this. I know a group of people who literally hate you. You know why? Because you criticize the JFF. And they're friends with the JFF, which some people say inside the JFF. You see all the one Kranky, right? And when you ask why, somebody said, tell me something that Kranky said that's wrong. I said, do you think that Kranky is going to go on the air, knowing all this lawsuit and all this stuff, and come out and tell a lie? Right?
So what would they say I'm lying? Give me an example they say I'm lying about.
Everything. As you open your mouth, say, once you say JFF, you're lying, right?
Oh, okay.
And these are some of the people who just will not come to themselves and say, listen, we have a problem. We're failing. We're not qualifying for nothing. The men's program is the number one thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we're failing, right? Listen, no matter how you have somebody, a friend or good, this I got you son. Man, listen, the other day, after it was this last Friday, we have a group, a discussion with a whole heap of media people. I'm not going to call names, with a whole heap of media people. And, we have an open discussion. And they admitted openly that there's a lot of bull crap going on inside, but they can't say it. They can't say it. Because they won't get no more interviews. The perks that them get, them not going to get that. And this is what they use to control these people, the power of the purse. What say you on that?
Look, I mean, it's not unique to Jamaica in terms of getting access and what that entails. It's kind of bad in Jamaica because I heard Maverick the other day come out and criticize Rudolph, and I hear they have some tip for, he's gone on KLAS quite a bit, and he doesn't go on Maverick as it stands now. Maverick finally come to his senses and realize that as a voice who's supposed to represent the people, he has to speak out. And he says, he basically criticized Rudolph as the architect for this. Initially, he wasn't really going that hard, right?
We saw that.
He wasn't going that hard, but no, he went in hard. Now, KLAS with Orville and Zinedine, they haven't really said a lot. At least when I listen to them, I don't see them going that hard to say Rudolph is culpable and Rudolph is the architect of this, and therefore, how can we reward the person? Yeah.
But I was expecting you to call in on the show and say, I hope I'm...
No, I called in the last time. I called him when Cody was there, I called in.
Yeah, but I was expecting you to call in when Speid was there. They say, I hope I'm
No, I can't do the Speid thing. No, because the last time Speid was there, I called in. They are trying to manage you and almost like censor you, and I'm not into that. I'm not into you trying to manage me and say how I can ask my question. You gotta do it this way. You only get one question. No. You only get 2 seconds. I'm not doing that.
No. At least a follow-up question. No.
Yeah, because you have to set up your question in a way now where I don't want you to have wiggle room to get out and then you move on to the next thing. And no, when I phrase my question in a way in which like I did with
he's not going to answer the question straightforward. He's going to dilly-dally and slip out.
Right, but I did with Cody because Cody talked about a subject and then I asked him the question in a way in which instead of where he has to come with something definitive. When he talked about first get Bossa Youth, no call it Bossa Youth, right? No call it Bossa Youth. In Bossa Youth, and I basically said, then I thought if you're a citizen of Jamaica, you're entitled to all rights and privileges of a citizen, and I think it was based on meritocracy. Now, when he positioned the conversation, you could see there was a shift. That's a fact. There was a shift.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not calling as often Kranky, but I watch your show on him. You understand? Even when I come home, you understand I'm driving home, I'm listening, right? So you have a lot of fans out here, bro. You have a lot of fans out here, right? So you can't make the look of few people them who want to take you off, right? Who want to show you off. And you have a lot of people from the JFF in the comment to give them like negative stuff. Ignore them people.
No, but people don't realize that whether former JFF persons or current JFF persons, some people still communicate. You will surprise people, something who communicate with me. People don't realize it now. Maybe I show something, I get texts. Somebody correct something, say them correct something. And that was lying, but they will say, what was that last time? Somebody correct me on, I forgot what it was, with some player. It was something about I forgot what it was. But
yes, people
would send me and send me information, and in the middle of shows, people more than once, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
They are watching the shows.
Yeah, some JV people watch the show. Yeah. Some of them don't. Some of them can't stand the ground and walk on, but me can't help that. Everybody can. Everybody can't like it. Everybody can't like it.
Everybody can't be kissing their ass.
Well, I don't want to put it that way, but I'm not. I have to be true to myself, and I have to say what's on my mind, and I have to be very careful of a couple of things. One is you don't want to say something doesn't mean I'm call nobody corrupt. Because if I can't prove corruption, I'm not call it corrupt. You know, you might want to call nobody corrupt by my program. I'm not into the corrupt thing because corrupt can have different meanings to it, but most people take it that you're defalcating funds, you're stealing money, right? Which something you mean corrupt meaning you do things which are unethical. People kind of view things corrupt in one dimension. I don't want to focus on that.
Yeah.
The focus should be on this, which is this. Because I heard somebody told me something the other day, which was being said about me in a group. I feel very important when so much people talk about me in a group. And I feel important if they criticize me in a group. I'm going to say, yeah, una depend on who in group. I talk about things and Kranky, I come up. Talk about the football, not talk about Kranky fact. Talk about the football. Talk about the football. I want to do for change thing. I want to get for change thing. Not talk about enough time I criticize Kranky. And we're not the person was from the JFF too. In our group, I criticize me.
That's the point I'm trying to tell you, right? You're 100% right. They won't spend time to fix what need to fix them doing freaking damage control, right? And that's one of the things, bro. It's just nothing now going to change unless those people have a meeting with themselves, all the stakeholders, everybody get together and say, listen, man, we be failing for 30 odd years. Let's try and fix this. Let's put the bull crap aside. Narrow it down to 8 years and see what we do wrong. Narrow it down to 7. Don't repeat this stuff. But unless they put the ego aside and, so let's put the country first, gonna happen, Kranky. Gonna happen.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Yeah, man. So we'll just slow and go and listen to you.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Thanks for the call.
Big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Big up.
So we have somebody here. Somebody named Ray Unicorn. He says, enough of the foreign players, notably English rejects and foreign coaches. We have all we need in Jamaica. So I know Roy Simpson came out and said we have to move away from the diaspora and focus more on local. I'll say a couple of things about that. One is, I think Roy Simpson should have been reprimanded in public by Rudolph and the JFF, but they don't do that because some of them think that way. Second, Roy Simpson, we actually had local coaches who coached under 22 years ago and the under 17 2 years ago. Not last year, because it was Freddie from diaspora, but he's locally born. What did the under 22 2 years ago? With something about it's just the senior team. Before the under 17 qualified the other day, what did all the under 17 qualify in a soup thing? So who makes decision for the football? Huh? Do we have foreign people who run the JFF? What are foreign people who run the JFF then? Could not talk about say foreign coaches and foreign players. You know the one thing foreign people do? They don't run the JFF. The JFF is run by all locally born people, and it's been a mess. So when they run off on the mouth and I criticize and I talk about foreign players and foreign coaches, you know the one constant that we have, the thing that doesn't change, is the people who run the JFF. Go look on the board member them. All them did it for donkey years. And we have the same thing over and over. The one constant, players come and go, you know. Players come, players go. Coaches come, coaches go. We have about 5 coaches in the last 5 or 6 years. We have a litany of players who come and go. The one constant is administration, and the one constant is failure. And Rudolph had the audacity to come and talk about how successful the president is when he's not giving it. Rudolph, when he says the president be the most successful president in the history of XYZ, there's context matters. Context matters. FIFA has watered down everything. Under 17, under 20, senior. They are trying to give more opportunities to the global world versus just Europe and South America. And therefore, there's more chance to make World Cup in different categories than previously. So context matters. Secondly, how many tournaments did we participate in over the last XYZ years? And how successful were we? And yes, the JFF should get credit if we have done well. So we went to Copa. We did well in Gold Cup. We made the Under 17 World Cup. We had 2 women's teams who made the World Cup. But here's the question. Given all those situations, given all those tournaments, given the quality of players we have, should we have done better? Did we meet expectation? Did we exceed expectation? We don't get any of that. What we get is a general statement about best president in history. I'm going to talk about some of the failures we have. I said the other day this. Think about all the tournaments we play in and all the different teams that we have and all different age group. The Reggae Boyz men team make up 85%, 90% of that. Period. Just given the financial benefits you can derive from it. And we got the easiest zone in the history of football, and we failed. When you fail like this, like it's in Italy, where the president, if they have to resign, normally they do the right thing and resign. But that won't happen in Jamaica, because it's a reflection of the larger Jamaican society, where the people who run things can get away with, you know what them call it, any and everything. Now, in my view, when it comes to the boycott, because I've thought about this, I don't know if boycotts will be effective at all. And to be honest, from where I sit, when I use Jamaica term, me not boycott nothing. You know, me not boycott nothing. Me love football too much to boycott it. Me can't see Jamaica play football and me say, me not gonna watch. That not gonna happen. That not gonna happen. Me not see Jamaica play on football and I say, boy, me not gonna watch football. That's a nonsense. Or me a boycott, so me stay and go watch some basketball or NFL. Me stop watch NFL football because me couldn't deal with the Colin Kaepernick thing. So me start watch NFL football from afar nowadays. Me not watch it close. From Colin Kaepernick situation, me have certain principles and me live by them. Say me Giants are play well, me glance at that game, but me not spend me so be worship NFL. Me worship it, but me support watch NFL football 24/7. Me barely watch NFL football nowadays. Sometimes people are player from the player for gone. Watch me mainly EPL or Jamaica football. Too many sports watching EPL, Jamaica football, and watch me next though. So at the end of the day, I don't see how I would boycott the football team. Now, I will say this. I understand the frustration. And if you want boycott, that's your prerogative. But I'm asking the question, what does boycott mean? Because some of you weren't buying jerseys. You weren't going to games. You just watch some platform. And JF not know what platform you watch. So if you're a boycott, but your boycott is not going to resonate, it's not going to have any impact. Because you weren't spending no money anyway. Because it's all about money in the people. It's money. And if you weren't supporting monetarily, how are you being effective in your boycott? You're just going to make noise and protest and create what? I believe in being effective in what you do. Now, Ray Unicorn seems to be taking the space this evening. What you might say? There are many baby goddesses out there. Go and find them and leave the United Kingdom alone. We have derived no benefit from pursuing footballers with zero connection to the island. Hey, Ray Unicorn, me have something to tell you tonight. Write it down. Ray Unicorn, write it down. Over here. You may be Rice Sims over here. Write it down, me say. People, they're going to be coming in droves. Yeah, you hear me say? You know, listen to me say again. The Englishman, them, you see them? You think you see the Englishman yet? No, say, see Kranky. Here you go again, Kranky. The last day, say 5 are come and not come. They're going to be coming in droves. People. They're going to be coming in droves. And here's what I would tell Rudolph and the JFF. Naturalize all of them. All of them come, just naturalize them. Help them get naturalized. Create a program where UK, US, Canada, you provide view to the general Jamaican population, those who are eligible. If you play football and think you're good enough, get naturalized. Doesn't mean you're going to get picked up, you get naturalized. And then you have your scouting people, them go out and source the talent that you think fit the team and bring them in. And you do it, and we pick the team based on meritocracy, not where you're born. Now, for people like Ray Unicorn, who believe we have enough talent in Jamaica, but we can't find them, because they're not playing IJPL, they might play a PB league, then, I don't know. Also, JFF, what you need to do, the people like Merrick and the kid from Racing, can't remember name, and Fullers of the world, if you think them good enough, find opportunities for them overseas. Because nobody who good enough now play locally. You see a Brazil player, and they see a Paqueta name or go, you're going to make your money and come back, all of them gone overseas. All of them gone overseas, gone play football at Brazil. You look at Brazil team, they probably have 2 or 3 local people just to make up the number, to make local feel good. Most of the players them from Brazil, no play Brazil, I live in Brazil. Then play outside of Brazil. That's how countries do it nowadays. That's why half of the team from Congo, with 150 million people, 150 million, half the team were born outside of Congo. I come from outside of Congo. Just like Morocco. You know, we have millions of people in Jamaica. Nobody now pick no local team anymore. So Unicorn, we have to be disappointed. You and Rice Simpson can go to hell. We're going to pick the team based on the quality that we have, who are Jamaicans. And as far as I can read, because I went to the Jamaica Constitution, I went there and read the Constitution and all the particulars of the Constitution, what it says, if you are Jamaican citizens, you're entitled to all rights and privileges afforded a citizen. So if I'm good enough to play for Jamaica, I'm a citizen. You can't come tell me something I can't play because I look at man panicana because you want the opportunity to get me spot. No, I mean, I know that. If you want to be good enough, go be good enough. Be good enough. If you want to be good enough, then go be good enough. Then you can't get me to my spot. But if I'm better than you, and you want to come play because you're born in Jamaica, that's your problem. Hello. Whisper was in the team because Rudolph Speid, who's a locally born coach, decided not to put him in the team. Don't complain no English born player for Whisper on that team. Nobody with the nonsense. The English born players don't pick themselves. Okay? They're Jamaican citizens. More than some, I don't know. Some of them do more for Jamaica than they do. Some of them just mash up the country while the diaspora send money go there, invest there, build there. No, some of the diaspora mash up the country because they send back gun, but that's another story for another day. But the diaspora support the country. Someone like your real unicorn, I want to mash up the country. Yeah? No, I say go to hell if you don't want British-born players to be national team. I'm going to take that back. You can tell me to go to hell because you want only locals. Locals are not the only citizens of Jamaica. I'm sorry to tell you that. Half the country live outside of Jamaica. Half the Jamaican live outside of Jamaica. Here's what I've always said, people, since I've been coming on YouTube. It's my understanding, if you're a Jewish person, if you come from the 17th, 16th, 14th century, 10th century, 19th, whatever it is, if you can prove you're Jewish, you're automatically a Jewish citizen. Jamaica should be the same way. Same way. We have too much division amongst ourselves and in the country. We should be supporting each other. Not to talk about local versus foreign. When a foreign, I support no foreign. As someone who can't eat without foreign, or beat up foreign, but foreign for go away and foreign born for go away. At the same people who say in Jamaica when beat up for them kids when I play for Jamaica. No stopping the nonsense. You can't stop nobody from playing for Jamaica. All of you kids in the US and Canada and Holland and England, if we're good enough, naturalize ourselves. Them people can't stop. As Maverick always said, go away. And Maverick nowadays I churn him tune that I say, oh, I want a balance. What the hell does balance mean? Balance about balance beam. What balance what? If a 30 local player, the best player, a 30 local player for player. And if a 30 overseas born players who are citizens are the best player, them for player. We don't balance thing. If you want to be good enough, and here's the problem, people. If Jamaica had won that $12 million at the World Cup, most of the money go on local. No, not going on diaspora. Apart from the people them who are play who get some money, no money go diaspora people. Go develop no diaspora born players. All the money will go to Jamaica. If you go in a JFF pocket, or if you invest in football in Jamaica. And those kids who are fly from England and fly 10 hours, come take risk with them career, can bust up them knee. I don't want to disrespect them. I don't know if you go away. I use Maverick term, America's Maverick. I don't know if you go away. The man who fly from England, fly 10 hours, and then if you fly go Mexico and fly yes and fly yes so, and take risk with them career. But they can stay home and relax and rest them body. I'm not come disrespect them. I don't know if you go away. I'm not care if you don't like it or not. And look at man who like call up Kranky name, but Kranky this and Kranky that. Kranky, I don't go to go and beat up Kranky. Kranky comfortable, not stay there. Kranky will do him thing. If you don't like it, I don't know if you go away too. Go away. You know, I must stop that term there. It's a disrespectful term, but it's meant to be disrespectful. We can't stand the nonsense, people. We, as a people, are too divided. We have to support each other. Whether it's in the YouTube space, whether it's in the political space, whether it's in the business space, we have to support each other, people. A life thing short. When you get older, you realize a life thing short enough. We don't have time for the dissension and the fighting and the this and that. Me now boycott and Reggae Boyz team. If Rudolph get the team, and Rudolph a coach a team, even if you shouldn't reward failure, me I support the team. Sorry. Me I support the team. Me now boycott no team. See, me say people, me now boycott no team. If you don't want to boycott, a full prerogative. Every person has to know what they can live with and what they're comfortable with. And me boycott the team doesn't mean I support the JFF and the nonsense what them do. Right? You can't change it, people. Can't change it. It's like you live in Russia. And you agree with the government. But you can't do nothing about it. In Russia, you probably won't have that much choice. You either agree or you go jail. Well, nobody else send me for jail for this. Me can't express my dissension. Me can't express my frustration. Me can't express the view that, you know what? This is intolerable. Me still watch football. Me still support the football. And frankly, those kids who are coming, me I support them more than ever. And me know some new one are coming. So rare unicorn, more I come. 3 come the other day. I think 3 come. Hurrah. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 3. Another 3 may come. And here, think about it, other people. Think about this way. If Coventry get promoted and then retain them same squad, Jamaica, we have 4 players in the Premier League now. 5. Right now we have 3. We have Rico Henry, we have Old Man Pinnock, and we have a Congo player, Leon Bailey. So I thought Leon was locally born. I thought Leon have Congo roots, man. I played Congo the other day. So we may have Latibo here and Mason Clark in the Premier League too. So we have 5. And as far as me know, probably have 1 or 2 in the Scottish League. If you work out and we push hard, we make it another one in the Italian League. So, and then we have a few more in the Championship. Enough player we have, people. We are bringing some more. Ray Unicorn, I'm sorry for people like Onino. Watch I beat the drum, because Rudolph won't win. And Rudolph realized that locally born players, some of them not good enough. You were Coley said the other day, people. No, you're Coley. As a Coley done say one boss you. And Coley now come and broke him now. Coley don't say I can't attack them commander. But I wish Coley look good. Him speak well. He's very articulate, and that's a good thing. Coley say him watch a APL game, him watch a Premier League game, a Jamaica Premier League game. I'm putting in my words. The man was run around like a mad people. Them look last on the field. Juras, don't disappoint me, Juras. Y'all my favorite people in my chat, but Juras. Juras. Wait about, it was that bad. I said, we can't find Bailey stats. I look at them stats every day, people. In the history of football, I have not seen worse stats in a game. We can't find it. But I'll find it. There are some place. And there's someone who said, boy, I fight against Bailey. And I can't say what I want to say. I call it like me see. I call it like I see people. It's the worst set of stats I've ever seen in a football game. Worse. So I don't know what I talk about. Let me see if we can find it. You gotta be here someplace. Cause Juras, make it seem like I make this up, But now I make up nothing, Juras. Me not have nothing to do with that. Me never play. Me not ball if I play, but me follow the football. I had it here someplace. Yes. All right, Juras. So, Juras, I call you out to the Juras. I call you out. I've shown these stats quite a bit. I'm going to show the stats again, people. These are the worst stats I've ever seen a footballer had in a football game. Now, Kadamarti's stats were much better than this. But the good thing was Kadamarti didn't touch the ball as much. Can probably not just be as bad as Bailey. And as somebody was trying to tell me, the further up the field you play, the more you have a chance to lose the ball. We agree. So Kadamarti has the most chance to lose the ball. Now, here are Bailey's stats, people. I didn't make this up. This is not fake. This is real. I think his rating was 5 point. Is it 5.6 or 5.8? One of them. We have some new stats, so we can't do them. But anyway. No, the touches was 58. I have a new one. The touches was 58. So I apologize for that. I have a one, but I can't find it right now. I updated this. His touches were 58 touches, not 52. All right? So skip the touches, but it doesn't really matter. He had, no, this is big stats, people. He had more turnovers than successful passes. That is hard to do. Let me say this again. The man turned the ball more over than successful passes. In fact, he almost had as much turnovers as passes made. That's hard to do. And as a dribbler, so a play out winger dribbler, he had 1 of 6 successful dribbles. Don't focus on the crosses, because that include corner, right? And he lost 4 of 16 duels. Now, he was Congo's best player. I looked at the stats for all the people, He was by far Congo's best player. Best player, trust me. Congo stats weren't as great as these. Nobody on the field for Congo player gave Congo the ball 30 times. Between Bailey and King, they lost the ball 54 times. People, remember football talk about possession, Have to keep the ball, if you get the opposition ball for 2 players 54 times, right? Bailey have 30, him have 24. I think most persons had the maximum may have been 15 and him touch the ball like 70 something times. So Bailey probably had twice as much turnover as almost everyone except for King. You can't, or if you win game. So think about it. Jamaica had more possession stats than DR Congo. Imagine if Bailey and King had, say, 12, King had 12, and Bailey had, say, 15. Right? That's 27 more possession Jamaica have, the ball, 27 more time you have the ball in your possession, Because what people don't do enough is focus on, if I don't have the ball, if I have the ball, I can't lose. So when you give the ball 30 times, people, that's half you do, Now, he said, Leon showed heart. As they say, heart means more than skills. Who said that? Who said that? Who said heart means more than skill? I know you be facetious, Juras, but who said heart means more than skill? No, I mean, people, them start there, work, hey, you know, Meadow? Take a picture of this. Take a picture. Me dead serious. Take a picture of this. I keep this as souvenir. I keep this as souvenir. People. I take a picture of this. Take a picture. Me definitely take a picture of it. It's unbelievable that anybody could lose the ball so much time in a football game. Congo's best player. I'm not going to beat man. Congo's best player. Best player by far. So me and Maverick argue about this, And Maverick say, who was better, Bailey or Kadamarty? Kadamarty was bad, like really bad. But here's the difference. Kadamarty never lose the ball 30 times. He never touch the ball close to 30 times. See what I'm saying? And Yomado must see if Kadamarty stats and show now. It was just as bad as Bailey, by the way. Except you have to extrapolate Kadamarty stats to get to Bailey number. That means, say Kadamarty turn the ball over, say 10 times or 15 times. He's still half as much as Bailey. So that means he was half as bad as Bailey. That's how you look on it. And here's the thing, people. And this is for Rudolph and the coaching staff of Jamaica. It is incomprehensible that you could be managing a game and the coach for a team and our players that bad and stay on the field. And you guys hear me give Rudolph a lot of credit when Cavalier coach against Sibao. And he took a player off after 10 minutes. He put him on 75th minute, took him on 85th minute. And I believe this, truly believe this. Even though Rudolph may come across as, I'm trying to be kind in my words, not the most, the person who cannot be challenged and the person who don't take no snuff or take no talk, as we say in Jamaica. I think Rudolph felt the pressure to keep King and Bailey on the field because they're locally born players. I truly believe that. And when the question was asked of Rudolph, because a lot of fans have the same, even though what's funny about these old pink people, you know what's funny about all of this, which I find interesting, if you drink some water, motor get dry enough, you talk enough, your motor get dry. Excuse me for a second, people. Please hit the like button. If you don't like the show, hit the like button. You know what's funny about these people? When Rudolph was asked the question about King and the long ball, Rudolph said he might have cramps. What? Wait now. Here's what I find interesting about this. Fans were beating King for the long balls. And because Bailey was putting out effort, fans weren't beating Bailey for this horrible play. Let me say this again, people. Fans are beating King for the long balls. I leave the ball out to your area and it gone up the field. To nobody, but it gone up the field. Got 4 of 19 now. Bailey wasn't getting the same beating like King was. You know, Bailey was 10 times worse than King. Not 10 times, but twice as worse as King. And then Rudolph was asked a question about, normal question about Cephas coming on to play center forward and about King long balls. For Cephas, he said, it was because they had 3 force changes or 4 force changes. Force changes. That had nothing to do with Cephas. Cephas came in for Kadamarty. Kadamarty was saying want to come out. So that didn't make no sense. And then second, Everybody's focused on the wrong thing. They should ask the Culpability question and then the Cephas question. And Campbell shouldn't come off people. Here's another question. How do you take off Campbell, who had 2 of 3 successful dribbles, who played a decent game, who was up against Wan-Bissaka, and was having the better of Wan-Bissaka, to be honest, versus Bailey, who was as bad as they come and still stay on 120 minutes? How'd that work? You hear me talk about Ateta and poor game management. Rudolph did a good job on his team with the team in general because they held Congo, who's a better team than them, and could have won that game. And some lucky kick because they never really attacked the goal. But the game management wasn't good. There were a bunch of mistakes made. Yes, you had some forced changes in the middle. People were cramping up. So Hayden was cramping up. I heard that Hayden say he could continue, but that's another story. And they were planning to change Bobby Reed and then change Palmer, right? So the 3 of them come off. They still have 3 changes. Webster was cramping up. Says 4 changes. You still have 2 changes. Took off Campbell voluntarily. And you took off Cadamartry. But why would Bailey be on the field and was so bad? And why is King on the field? First of all, King should have been moved out of the team. Put Lati at centre back, where he play for Coventry and I play well. I'm going to go Premier League, I play for country. Let's say, hope you stay there. And put something at right back. Put Ian Frey right back. Those are simple changes. Take off Bailey and put on Cephas on the right. Simple changes. And if you want to take off Cadamartry, then put on Fuller centre forward or put on somebody else centre forward. No more Jamal Lowe. Him look like when they run now quicksand in the first game. So I don't know. Him look like how Gray used to look. You remember Gray used to play for Jamaica? Him look, after a while, them get old, them can't run. Them run that pan cola or something. But at the end of the day, people, they made some mistakes in that game. Obvious mistake. And you know the worst mistake Rudolph make. The worst mistake, he make 2 bad mistakes, actually. If Whisper wasn't being disciplined, the Whisper should have been going. And Ravel Morrison would have been a difference maker in that game. You know, some people, I was reading something the other day. When I read it, Puno. I was reading something the other day. It's very important. I want to read it. Somebody can't find it. And I read it the other day. Because it's important. Can't find it. Okay, so I pull an excerpt from something. I'm going to read it for a reason. Fuller was not in possession of jersey. No. The point of the matter is this, people, is that Fuller should have gotten a jersey because we only had 1 center forward as backup. But anyway, let me read this. There are some Brazilians who are campaigning for Neymar's involvement. No one more so than Romario, who warned Gentleman Ancelotti that he must tread carefully over this particular issue. Neymar has not been called up. That gentleman had better watch out. So Romario threatened Ancelotti, right? That gentleman had better watch out. The national team is for the best players. The 1994 World Cup winner told Journal Odia. This is where the best, and it said for Brazil, this is where the best and most talented players belong, and no manager should do without a player of Neymar's caliber. He's better watch out. It's better to have a star like Neymar, even if he's not 100%, than to call up just any other player. A star must play always. I still hope to see Neymar prove on the pitch in the Brazilian League that he deserves a place in the final squad so that he can bring home the jersey. You know why I read that, people? You know the man say, even if you're not 100% fit, you bring some other local player, you know what, and go get jersey. And people like Ravel, you say no meet them performance standard. So it's like Bailey and the effort thing and production. Bailey have effort, but he might hurt the team. You bring some little man who's not going to change, but you bring them. So when I say you bring them, but they're not going to change. Because I bring a Ravel to be a game changer. Especially when you need to get a goal and you have no offense on the field. And have nobody can create nothing. And you say you bring him because you know fit time, body mass, no nonsense. Stop the nonsense, man. It's frustrating. You hear people say, Neymar, one of the best players of them. He may not be fit, but he has certain skills and certain attributes which you can leverage and help you win game. And the fact of the matter that you decide not to bring Ravel it proved to be not the right thing to do. It's the coach prerogative not to bring Whisper and Ravel. But if you bring Norman Campbell, if you bring Fuller, if you bring some of the local players that you bring, and you have certain people like Whisper and Ravi for bringing them in, that don't make no sense. And if it was a discipline thing, we can't live with the discipline thing. Because you know the rule when you brought the law. But if it's not discipline, then we can't see what you're talking about. He was a better option, yes. Bless up Conrad, thanks for joining. Now, the person in the chat named Ray Unicorn. Ray Unicorn, what them if you notice them? Another Alan Skillcode, another Peter Dove Marston are waiting to be the Peter Dove Marston didn't play football at any level to be deemed that guy of certain ability. Good night. Hello.
Good night, Mr. Kranky.
Oh Lord, troublemaker. Good night.
Yeah, man. Me sit down here, so me listening.
You like listening to quality?
Oh, I'm listening here.
You like listening to quality?
And you start. You know, I think sometimes you try to be controversial more time. You know?
I don't try.
Yeah, man. Because the thing is, you come every time. This thing with the local and English. You love them thing there, you know. You think you love it. You strive for them things.
Fisherman, must stop you. You need to get out more often. You need to get out more often.
What?
You need to get out more often.
If you get out more often?
You need to get out more often. You know what that term means?
Because if me get out more often, man, me hear the talk.
Yes, exactly. Listen to KLS Omega Radio, listen to Maverick program, and then come talk to me. Okay? When you listen to them, come talk to me. Otherwise, don't come say Kranky start overseas. Go listen to the program.
Me listening to something daily.
And they talk about it every single show it come up with someone in Jamaica say it come up.
Listening.
Yes, and every day it come up, right?
Every day
it come up, right? Correct. Yes or no? Every day it comes up, right?
Look here.
Answer the question. No. We're not going anywhere to answer the question. No, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you.
Maverick, we bring it up. Maverick, but then you say KLS, somebody call on.
Yes, somebody call and bring it up all the time.
It all come up on KLS.
It comes up on KLS. It comes up when somebody call and bring it up.
Most of the time.
People call and bring it up all the time.
I'm saying,
all the time.
You say if you stop, but every time you come on your show, I eat a year bread and butter.
Because someone in the chat will bring it up and I want to address it. Yeah, what I should do? Ignore that person's comment? I should ignore their comment? I should ignore their comment? No, should I ignore their comment? Yes or no?
You just dying this time here on the program and I say no talk about it and you're gone to it.
You can't tell me what you tell me what.
You love it, man. You just love it.
Because it's not going anywhere. And people like you have your head in the sand. Take your head out the damn sand.
You love it.
I don't love it.
Say, and the thing is, you say, against local player or JPL player. But the moment you see one JPL player in a squad, you're going bizarre. You're coming like you lose your mind.
Give me an example.
You just said it a while ago, say no JP. If they're so good, where them not go play in a get contract to them play overseas.
But in what context did I say that? So let me help you. No, people. No. People, fisherman.
Anytime you hear about a local player where are playing at the JPL, getting at the squad,
yeah,
you have a problem with it.
So fisherman, I'm gonna mute you if you don't let me to talk, okay? Because you do not talking. So fisherman, here's the thing. Miguel Cole said the other day that he wants local players basically in the squad. He sort of said that indirectly, right? Because he talked about circumstances and it helped the family, right? Then he talked about watching a JPL game, and then he said the players they were confused. Then we don't know what the matter. Then he went to the fact that the team has to have diaspora and local in the team. Right? We got a question. Let me say that. I am the one who pushed the question of Miguel Cody about meritocracy and citizenship, because I knew where he was going. And I make sure I clearly understand what he was saying. Right? And he came around to basically says the team have to be made up of players from everywhere, because you want the best players in the team, give the best chance to win. And he basically said you can't have a locally based team, because somebody asked the question, because they're not good enough, basically. Him said that, me not say that. Him said that.
But Kranky, there is no way you would think if him never said that, you would think the man will come from pick up be a local JPL player play.
Because the callers were saying, why can't we just go all local? Callers were asking the question, why can't we go all local? Why do we have to go with overseas players? They were saying that. Why can't we just have local players? A lot of people are saying that. I hear the Maverick program and I hear it on KLAS and I hear Cody ask the same question. Why can't we just go local?
Saying,
has everybody ever said, why can't we just go with all overseas players and no local? You ever hear that come up a lot?
Look here now.
Answer the question. No, answer the question.
What?
Me unmute you if you answer the question. Stop it. Stop it. Yes. If you know local person said this. No, local person. On the radio. Don't lie now. Of course not. But you hear it. But you hear that lot said. But you hear that lot said the other way around, don't you, on the radio?
At the end of the day, what I'm saying, nobody going to see a straight local base squad play for the national team.
We have seen that. We have seen that.
Then what you mean? So when we start recruit, so we never normally normally used to recruit overseas player.
Well, okay. When we play Trinidad the world in local game, the local base player like nice squad.
God have his mercy.
No, me ask that question. You said you've never seen it. No. Stop your nonsense. You say you've never seen it. You say you've never seen it. Me I tell you, you've seen it.
What we were playing for when we was playing those games?
You have to be playing for. Why we play for Unity Cup? We play for nothing.
I read something else. Kranky, say I read something else. If you having some games, some local game when them not have no farmer thing there, no FIFA date, and then pick up some team and play, you call that a real Jamaica national team?
It's not real. What do you mean? Don't the caps count? The caps don't count? What Rudolph Speid record was the other day? What did Rudolph say his record was?
Yeah, him said 3-1. 3-1.
Oh wow! So those games don't count. Those games don't count.
But me no count that.
Okay, you don't matter. You don't matter. What you talk about? What you don't count.
At the end of the day, when you pick up playing Trinidad, playing some game when it's not a FIFA date, and you call up some local player, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And that is no real.
So Fisherman, you missed the point, didn't you? Went over your head, didn't it? You know my point is, Fisherman? You know my point is on that point? Here's the point, Fisherman. You use locally based players in the squad with Trinidad team and you don't dominate them. You struggle with them. Every single time you struggle with them. And you want those players to go represent the island against better opponents.
All right, you want to go there? All right,
yes, go there.
When we play Jamaica with most England-born player, 9 of them, which Caribbean team we are dominating?
We actually beat Canada. We actually went to the we actually went to Gold Cup quarterfinals. I think we went to a semifinal. We went to Copa America. We won 30 Nations League. We beat Canada. We should have beat US because of some lucky goal. We've done okay in the last couple of years. I think we've done okay.
We do anything where Jamaica never used to do before we start bringing English-based player. What we do different.
We have been bringing English-based players since '98. So we know what you're talking about. Before '98, we didn't do nothing. Before '98, we weren't doing anything. We weren't doing anything before '98. Nothing.
Look here.
Nothing.
We got 2 Gold Cup final with mostly local-based players.
And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to go to Gold Cup final. We don't. Fisherman. We don't care where them come from. We don't care. We don't care.
Yeah, you care.
Why would I care? Why would I? Okay. So, why would I care? What's my incentive?
Because you just say a while ago again, we not dominate. No, but when we not play with overseas English player, we can't dominate Trinidad and we can't dominate this team. I'm a point out to you, when we play with most English-born player, who we dominate? I
don't know. I think of late it has been great, but last time we played in the Gold Cup 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, we beat Trinidad about 5. We should have beat US when Bailey missed the penalty. We were dominating then, I think, actually.
Well, that's what we do before we get English-born players. We used to do that on a regular basis.
We used to dominate Trinidad every day? Nonsense. We don't dominate Trinidad. No, bother with the nonsense.
Look here.
We were dominating Trinidad that way. That's nonsense you're talking. I'm not going to let you talk that nonsense.
Nandi Lowe alone scored 4 goals for Trinidad.
Oh, Lord.
In a one game.
Over the year, Jamaican Trinidad have been very close in terms of abilities. Very close. Trinidad got 06 World Cup. We go 90. Trinidad World Cup after we. We haven't been to the World Cup since.
If that we want to talk about. We know.
The point, you missed the point. As you normally do, you miss the point because you just defend, you talk.
What
do you mean? You missed the point.
You come again with this thing with Ravel. Sometimes I wonder, who picked this side? The coach are on YouTube. You come with Ravel now and you read something about where Romario say and about Neymar. At the end of the day, Neymar are grace where you can call up. What Ravel? What Ravel do?
What do you mean?
We're not talking make it sound like Ravel never used to play in a national team before. How much goal Ravel set up and how much goal Ravel scored for the national team?
Ravel played midfield. He plays TDM. He played all different positions. And he didn't get a lot of continuous run. Wait. He didn't get a lot of continuous run in the team. There's always some issue with Ravel. He didn't get a lot of continuous run in the team. He come out St. Louis the other day and they gave him 1 minute. Flying from Saudi Arabia, they gave him 1 minute. Okay?
That is what they do all the time. Carl, Ravel play one World Cup cycle. Ravel, did he qualify?
The team never qualified.
Did he qualify for the World Cup?
Team never qualified.
Ravel play one World Cup cycle. Ravel, did he qualify?
So which local player make us qualify? Why are you talking about the local player?
You come up with this thing.
They barely make us qualify. They barely make us qualify. He's a Premier League player.
Ravel, and it's true because he's local player. Them that's why he don't take off Bailey. That's why he don't take off King off of the field.
So I just said Cadamarti was as bad as Bailey. Did you hear that? Oh, your goddamn ears were closed. Did you hear that?
Me hear that.
So why did you bring that up? Why did you bring that up? Why didn't you bring that up? Wait. No, if I'm talking, wait. Fisherman, stop, Fisherman. Stop your nonsense. I talked about 3 players, right? Who everybody's talking about. And I mentioned Cadamarti. You didn't bring that up until I forced it. You didn't say it, you know. Because you're biased. You can't have your bias when it comes to me and the player them. You're biased.
You talk one thing, then you try to make it up by talking something else. What I'm saying, God. You didn't have to. Why you have to bring up say I choose them a local player? Why I don't take them out?
So what's the reason for not taking them out? What other reason you could have?
So both the man believe in him believe King, him believe him trust King. Say King as a coach, him coach King and him trust King. That happen all over the world. Where coach trust a player. Him have Bailey out there as the biggest player for Jamaica. And him in himself, him could have said to himself, say, at time now Bailey to deliver. So him feeling himself say Bailey could have deliver this time. Why you couldn't think say that him take? Why you have a think say actually him is a local player, why keep him out?
That's my thought. I have my own opinion, right? I can express that, correct?
Well,
if Bailey was born in the UK, wouldn't that kill him? People, if this stat was Campbell or Cadamarti, who wasn't much better by the way than Bailey, but he had much less touches, or Bobby Reed, or any name English born player there, Rudolph would get murder, literal murder.
Hey, look here.
See the stats, them people then talk for themselves. You can't talk to me with them stature. You can't talk to me with them stature. You can't nobody know about football. Your football done to them stature, no opinion. Your football done. Your football done to them stature, no opinion. If it's not opinion, your football done.
Every day. Because Bailey every day say Bailey. When Bailey play for Jamaica, him one of the worst player ever play for Jamaica. Because him every day.
So why would a coach keep him on the field if he was born in the UK? Would you think they're on the field? Hey, people. The first game Andre Brooks played, he get take off halftime because he was in the game. And like, remember no bad passing, he just was in the game. He get take off halftime. Andre Brooks stats don't look nothing like this. You hear me, people? Don't stop the nonsense. Andre Brooks Andre Brooks play one half of football and look at him stats. Mason Clark only played the first game. He never get no start. Then second game come and I send this up minute. Look on them stats here. Stop your nonsense, man. Stop your nonsense.
So what if the
Fisherman, good night. Yeah, I know me, Fisherman. Good night. Fisherman, tell you good night. Can you talking nonsense? You've been long enough talking nonsense.
You always come up with this and then they say people are saying you love it. You love it.
Fisherman. If people bring it up, I'm not running from it. I'm going to embrace it and talk about it.
But at the end of the day,
yeah,
I don't matter if when them call the team if the coach I watch a game and him see two man in the JPL and him feeling himself, so the man can make a difference. I don't have a problem.
I have a question for you.
I don't have a problem.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Because the coach coach the team. The coach, him a coach the team. Uno must be like a Uno select the team. And Uno select the team, that's
fisherman. I hate to tell you this. But in almost every single country, these discussions happen. In fact, they're 10 times worse than what we're saying. My Arsenal team, go watch AFTV, go watch Guna, go watch all of them, and the same thing that happened. I know you guys are very sensitive about these things, and you may not be. Get out your living room where you're living, and get out and go expand other nations what them do, other club to what them do. This is normal. In fact, it's probably abnormal because it's not as bad as those places. But you don't know this.
And then you have this thing where you tell people say, because they must stop sending things from foreign. You must stop a petty thing.
I said them to stop sending things from foreign. Whenever I said that. Wait. Whenever I said, no. Fisherman, stop like. If you go like, I'll cut your ass off. Don't come because you some bad word. Whenever you have me stop sending from foreign, tap your nonsense. Don't lie for me. My don't lie for me. If you get me mad, don't lie. Don't lie for me, my. Bye. Have a good night. I said stop sending.
One time.
What's the context?
You come back now talk about it's the same thing.
Everything is about context.
You say if them don't want them to come play for the country, then if you send nothing, come give them and then if you take nothing from them.
But that context matters. You said that if I said don't say no go Jamaica because Jamaica can get none. That's why you say it like you know. Stop lying, my youth. Fisherman. Don't make us say some bad word, my youth. Nobody with it. Nobody nonsense. No. But fisherman. Here's your problem. You're very sensitive for Jamaica, you know? In terms of the local versus overseas, you know. Can people like yourself in your backroom place? That's what you guys talk about 24/7.
Now, man, you are the main man pan YouTube, Kranky. Every night you come on, all when nobody not talk to you about it, you have to go there.
Well, fisherman, I can talk about anything in my program I want to talk about. That's my prerogative. And you and the JFF can't stop me from talking about nothing. No, can't stop me from talking about what I want to talk about. No.
That's why you don't get no interview from no man, you know.
And fisherman, I'm crying. It's such a bad thing. I'm crying.
Yeah, man, because you ball every night. You ball every night.
Fisherman. Don't get it confused, son. If they don't want to come to my program, we all know why. We're not upset. We all know why they don't want to come. And what does that mean to me? What does that mean? What does that mean? Wait. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Explain to me what it means. I'm crying and I come. Or am I saying they are afraid to come? There's a difference.
You know, when you see a man like Baldpree and them man, they get interviewed. You know,
I'm glad for Baldpree getting an interview. I hope he continue to get interviews. I am happy for Baldpree. Good kid, young kid, doing really well. I hope he can get more interview. I love that he gets interview. In fact, Baldpree, keep doing what you're doing, young man, and continued success. Me not bad mind. Hey, here's what you forget. Here's what you forget, Carl. You know that Rudolph Speid was my first interview on my channel, right?
You not seen on your channel already?
Exactly. You know why things don't work as they should? Because you know what Kranky is? Kranky gonna talk it like it is. Unlike some people, I will talk it like it is. You know why? Fisherman coming and beg nobody nothing. Me I do my thing. I'm not saying that the YouTubers are begging anybody button. Don't get the wrong people because Kranky said this. No, I'm not saying the YouTubers are begging anybody. I'm saying I personally, I'm going to say what's on my mind. If you don't like it and it's truthful, because it's always going to be truthful, I'm credible, I can't help you. Well, so what I'm saying, that's not truthful. Tell me. No, say Uno. They talk about Kranky. That's about Uno. We're not Uno thing.
Everything you get. Me want you do a show one night. I mean, you talk about no local and no.
You can't tell me what to talk about. You and nobody can't tell me what to talk about. You and nobody can't tell me what to talk about. Fisherman, that will never happen. Anyway, somebody's calling me. I will tell you good night. You're on the phone long enough. Good night, Fisherman. Good night.
Yeah, man. Good night to you too, man. Thank you for having me.
Bless up, Fisherman. Bless
Yeah,
up.
man. I will not.
Good night, CB. Good night. Lord help me. CB, good night. Hello.
Good evening, Kranky. How are you doing, sir?
I'm trying to survive, Fisherman here.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Because I'm listening to the conversation, but I don't think he's being 100%. What we would say, you know, I think he's leading the weakness in this, for lack of a better term, because when he's talking about local players, those players were playing overseas. They were not playing in the JPL when we went to the finals in. I think it was. I forgot what year we went to the Gold Cup final.
Yeah. You know? I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, if they're locally born, they're local, right? And that's a great thing. And look, I would love to have more locally born players in the squad. You know why I would love to have more locally born players? Because as Coley had alluded to in his conversation, and by the way, the qualifications, they have to be good enough, people. Because when you put the local born players out in the public domain over to play in that environment and they can't compete, it's not a good look. Nobody wants to sit here and say Jamaica is just overseas. That's nonsense. Jamaica is a global country in terms of where citizens reside. And this differentiation that we keep making, especially, whatever reason I talk about it so much, you know, I listen to the radio program in Jamaica and it's the same thing all the time. Why can't we just use locally born players in the team? And then somebody will ask you, name me some players, and you can't name nobody. Or what happens is this, people. They want all locally born players. And I heard Miguel Cole said the other day, somebody's, I think it was Zinedine asked the question, which is, given the level, because the pick is always made, Zinedine said alluded to, like from the championship, for example. Cordio's league is supposed to be better than JPL. So how do you make a distinction between when you assess a player between locally based and playing and the championship? And Cole said the eye test. The problem with the eye test, people, sorry, CB, let me just explain. The problem with the eye test is this.
No, go ahead.
When you're explaining the eye test for the JPL, what are you looking at? Because to assess a player, that's why people have tryouts, you got to put them in an environment where the environment is going to be reflective of where they're going to be playing on a regular basis. So if you want someone in the championship, you got to have them try out with a championship team or at that level to say he can compete at this level. You can't judge them in the JPL. They may look brilliant, like a McGee, but can they transition that ability that they show in the JPL someplace else? You have no basis to make that determination, no matter what your eye want to tell you. So this concept and this idea that the eye test is great for a JPL league ranked 10th in CONCACAF, 130 in the world, is a fallacy. Go on, CB, sorry.
I agree with you, because one of the reasons why the girls consistently make a World Cup and they look so good is because we don't have the same argument. We're just picking from a group of players. To the disposal of the girls, they have so much players they can pick from, and it's always about the talent. I think recently, I can't remember this young lady name. She was so good with the Reggae girls that England called her back. We didn't cap her in time.
Her name was Hines.
Her
name was Hines, and we kind of slowed the naturalization. Yeah, Hines is her name. I think she's at Arsenal now, actually. Yeah.
So when you have players playing at the high level, yes, JPL players are in their transition, but once they get to a certain point, it is not the national team's. It shouldn't be the national team's job to boss a player. That should be the team wanting to put that player out. Spend time. There's so much kids in Jamaica that have access to internet and access to hire some of them to make films on your stars so they can be sold overseas so you can make money. This is not the federation's job to do. We should be saying, you know what, these guys are playing at elite level. They're playing across the globe. Well, how much more JPL players is matriculating to the MLS, which is closer to them?
But that's the point, though, right? So the Jamaica players will go to the USL, for example, right, which is a lower league than the MLS. They're not getting MLS contracts. They're not getting contracts from clubs who in the top 20, that's not happening on a regular basis, right? So the players were that good. Is it that they have poor agents to get them opportunity? What is it?
Yeah, and So I was listening to another program, and everybody was like, "Oh, Jamaica need money to do this, and Haiti do it, and Haiti don't have the money." I'm like, you don't know how another federation is run, because we don't even dig into how our federation is run. So how do we know? If I'm not mistaken, Mount Pleasant, aren't a lot of their players from Haiti?
Yeah, they have quite a few players from Haiti. Yeah, they have players from Haiti in the league, young players too.
So they're playing. So they're the top team in our league. A lot of their players are from Haiti. So what is it saying about our players when our main teams are picking players from a country nearby that we think we're superior to? What does that say about our kids?
Well, Haiti's at the World Cup, so I'm not sure we can say we're superior to Haiti.
But
and they went from a World Cup with a zone with Costa Rica in their zone.
Right. So the point I'm trying to make, yeah, we're going off about it, but even in the league, the top teams don't have our best players playing on that team.
Yeah. I mean, the point is taken, and I do think Fisherman complained that I'm always bringing up local versus diaspora. I think there's very few times I come here in the chat where somebody don't mention it, which I have to then address. Right? And I'm always trying to figure out a way to. I was talking about. I may have brought in the context of what Roy Simpson has said, and what I know about players coming in, and the fact that we're going to get more diaspora players. And the question for Rudolph is going to be, does he balance the team out, or does he just pick based on merit? That's his problem.
I personally, if I was coaching, and not to knock on Bailey, he's not had a great season, and it's showing itself because most of the time through the qualifying, he was not available for us, whether injury. He went to another team that doesn't see him as part of their future, so they sent him back. So even the nonsense they can try to sell about the team saw him and wanted to call him back because he's not starting, he's coming off the bench. When I saw Bailey in the first game, I was for the 10 minutes, I was like, oh my God, this is probably the worst I've ever seen him play. And if I was the coach, I would have never started him because he went against a lesser team. He looked horrible. He's not had the best season. He looked horrible. And one of the things that we keep talking about chemistry and building a team. If you do not have the education, I'm gonna date myself. I took common entrance. If you can't pass common entrance, you can't go to the top school. So how are you gonna expect certain players who don't have the football education? Yes, I'm not gonna say Jamaican players can't run. They may know the game somewhat technically. They may not know it at the same scale because football is not where it was in 1998. There's not a kick and run league. That's why when after the game we complain, oh, the man I'm kick the ball up. Everybody on YouTube, why Jamaica kick the ball? Because if the players don't have the education to anticipate, move into space, anticipate balls coming, constantly moving, when a player comes in from England who's used to playing in an academy where everyone thinks their position, and this person don't know how to think their position, you're always going to be watching the game instead of just moving into position. And that's what you run into, why we can't qualify. When you look at the Surinams and all of these teams, all their players understand the game at a unique level, so they don't have to anticipate you're going to pass the ball. We know you're going to pass the ball. And that's the difference.
Yeah, I think Jamaica's biggest problem, and I've said this before, is it's not the locally born players per se, it's how they're being coached or not coached. I keep telling people, I see someone in the chat talk about Peter Marston and some of the players and Skill Cool played in the 60s and probably 70s. We're talking about 40, 50 years ago. And Peter Marston ain't played in whatever, and Peter Marston was known locally, he was known overseas, right? Whitmore was more known, given that he played in the 98 World Cup. And then I use Whitmore as comparison. I compared Marston, which you can't really judge, and we know Skill Cool went to Brazil. The point I'm trying to make is that we don't develop midfielders. We do the easy thing. You have some athleticism, we call you fast, you can't run, you kick the ball on the wing, you run it down. We don't develop midfielders. We don't develop technical skill because midfield is the most technical place to play football.
Right, but I don't know what other fans were watching, but I watched when Cephas played, and not picking on any because Cephas plays overseas. One of the problems I had with Cephas, when he's on the wing, he tries to run past everyone. Now, he doesn't have the point in his game that when other players are just as fast as him, takes away his speed or they're coming over to block him, because I was a right back. So when I'm dealing with I have to deal with speed, and I can run, but there's some guys that are faster than me. I have my center back come over and overlap. So I'm nulligating your speed, and when he does that, he has no clue, and that's been my problem with him. You're fast, but there's also when you run into other right backs or center backs who are fast, you don't have a second gear. You don't have another strategy. And that's always been the problem. So yes, he's fast, he's talented, but when we play bigger teams who have fast wing backs, he is nullified. And everybody's like, "Whoa, I put him on." He's nullified.
Well, I don't think Jamaica teaches their players how to think. So the mental part of the game, and I heard Pierre talking about this, Andrew Pierre talking about this, the mental part of the game, he talks about as being part of the whole equation about how you develop players, right? Most time you hear people talk about developing players, talk about the technical side of the game, the more physical side of the game. You're not talking about the mental element. And the mental aspect, which we train people to think and think how to get out of situations, then it will help the player make better decisions, like a CFAS, for example. I'm not sure we teach them how to think. I think we teach them how to play and not how to use their brain to navigate their situations on the field. And it manifests itself in how the players play. It clearly does. Listen, and people don't seem to realize that.
The only way we're going to break this cycle, in my opinion, is when we have, because I think a lot of it is when we look at schoolboy football. Schoolboy football is great, and it is. But I don't know, and I've not seen schoolboy here, so please educate me on this. I don't know if is there an age limit, like in the U.S. When you're playing under 13, no one can be under 13. So schoolboy levels is under 13 level, under 15 level, under 17 level. I don't know if it's the same level. So therefore, a player that is bigger, stronger, may be able to dominate, and we're like, yo, this player is good. But when that player plays against teenagers or young adults his age, they're nullified because we're all at the same age. We are all at the same skill level. And is how you matriculate to the adult game, because you have been running past. And I think a lot of times when we heap praise on our kids, they stop training. Because if you look, I used to play American football at one point. And when I used to take even my kids to practice in American football, the kids that always do well on the team, like the strong one, the fast one, the coaches never coach them because they always show up and just ball out.
Right.
And then when they go to college and everybody has been praised and they've always been the number one kid, they always fall off the charts because they never learn to work at their game. So therefore, when everyone is great, they fall apart. And I think that's what happened to a lot of our players. I don't know where Whisper is going to go. I don't know where Kareem's going to go. I don't know where the next kid who comes out of Jamaica that I don't know his name yet is going to go. But if he's not working at this game in the off hours, when he goes somewhere else to college in the U.S. or to play on a team, the kids his age, he's not going to matriculate because he didn't put in the extra work. And that's how you made greatness.
Yeah,
say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
My last point, Kranky. Someone says this. If you think about football giving you something and not what you can get from football, what you can give football, you'll never be great. The money will come if you're great. The first contract is not where you make the money. It's the second and third contract. And if you don't work on it, you'll never get to the second and third contract.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say Jamaican players don't work on their skills. I just think if you're not being coached well, you don't know how to work on what you need to get better.
True facts. That's a good point.
So I don't think the coaching is what it should be, because there's no reason. I've always said it. There is no reason, given the Jamaican DNA, where we have so many players being produced in England who play football and come from the same ancestry and the same gene pool, and then we have the ones in Jamaica not playing at the same level, at the same ratio. It doesn't make any sense. It has to do with the environment they operate in more than anything else. It's not the physical attributes. And as such, yes, we don't have the resources that England has. We don't have the academy system. Football is not ingrained in the society. But there are smaller countries who have done better, and we got to find a way to do better.
But my argument to that, Kranky, is this. If we allow the best players to be picked for two or three cycles in a row, let's not say we need JPL, we just have the best players picked. We make a World Cup, we make another World Cup. It's not about going far, it's just making the World Cup, because right now, you're losing out on $1 billion, I think over $1 billion Jamaican that could have gone into the grassroots programs. When you don't make finals, when you don't get into tournaments, you're losing out on money. So at the end of the day, if you want to grow football in Jamaica, you got to make sure the senior teams go to these things. So therefore, the federation have money to put some into, granted, there's going to be travel costs and just running the organization. People got to get paid. But at least some money will go into the grassroots. But now you have no money going to the grassroots. So if there's a program that was short with a shortfall, all right, I don't know, with the senior team not making, this is my problem. If you have a senior team, there should never be a debate about putting Jamaican players or local. It should be the best players, because if that team makes no money, nothing else is funded.
Right.
When are we going to get that to our head? And the football will never get better in Jamaica because there's no money coming in.
Yeah. All right, sir. Appreciate the call.
That's my last point. That's the end of the day. If the senior team don't make tournaments, there's no money coming in, and we're right back where we started, having these arguments when the kids are not being coached properly, or even if they're coached properly, don't have the resource, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's nutrition, we don't get to move past the basic conversation.
Yep.
Last point.
All right, thanks, sir. Thanks for the call. Yeah, man. I'll say this actually, which is, look, I am sure Jamaica has a number of talented kids who some people are alluding to probably need to be discovered. But the problem you have is it's hard to assess the talent in Jamaica given the level of the league and the level of high school football and the level of football in general, and in some respects, the level of the coaching. It's very hard to judge. When Cody says he's going to use the eye test, I was thinking, but Cody, even if you use the eye test, normally the eye test is about similar players, league at a certain level, to inform your view about your abilities, right? And kids like Whisper have shown that they have ability, and when they give them an opportunity, they can go on trial, and a team like Chelsea will bring them in because they realize the potential. Will it materialize into something? We have to wait and see, because he's having a difficult time to me now, being on loan at Leicester, and he's 20 now? So it may sound strange, time is sort of running out in today's world where people have no patience, right? Some kids mature at 20, later than others, 22, 23, 24, but they don't have patience. So let's see what happens after his Leicester loan. My understanding, he may be out of contract this year, and that'd be a difficult one for him, because has he been given enough chance at Leicester to show what he can do to go someplace else? That's also another challenge for him. I like Whisper as a player. The kid has ability. I think for him, I don't think the mental matches up with his skill set, actually, which I'm concerned about. But hopefully, he lands someplace really well. They take care of him. He gets an opportunity, because you can't produce without opportunity. As it relates to the JPL, I just don't see how you judge a JPL footballer that well, given the quality of the league or maybe lack thereof. I'm sure there are probably diamonds in the rough there. But if you have to search for diamonds in the rough versus, when I hear Zinedine and others talking about the championship, for example, and I hear Maverick talking about championship versus JPL and Tabo say, oh, them go for look at man that championship and look at man do this. Those people have a body of work. They may come here and some don't produce, but others will have produced, right? They have a body of work to judge from. We don't have a body of work for the locally based players. So it's up to the agents, and we got to come up with mechanism and figure out how you get those players to get trials to demonstrate their ability to then see if they can get contracts. There has to be a pipeline created. Well, I hope in Jamaica now the coaching is getting better. Rudolph seems to be enthused by the coaching sessions they've been to and the licenses that they get and where they're going. And the outcome may not be seen for years to come. Right? But someone the other day was mentioning Spain. No, the coach for the Reggae Girls, Busby, was mentioning Spain's women's team, and that 9 years ago in a World Cup, they finished last in their group, and then now they win everything. It's hard to do a comparison with Spain because they have unlimited resources, they have great coaching, they have great infrastructure. But I've always said this about us, which I struggle with. We need to go out, find a way to get all the information from all these organizations, club and countries who we want to emulate, figure out what we can do given our resources, leverage best practices from them, benchmark ourselves, and find a way to take what's best of all those, given the budget that we have, and implement it to allow us, and then have some mechanism to judge short, medium, long term how we're progressing. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect to get different results, that doesn't work. And right now, that's what we're doing. And the last point I say is this. I've said this before. The one part of the entire football ecosystem, whether it's the JFF, the players, the sponsors, the media, the fans, FIFA, the government. I don't think I left anybody out. The one party who have the most influence, but remains the same, because the sponsors change. FIFA don't change, government don't change. Well, people in the government can change. And FIFA people can change, even though people are Infantino, so them play for life. But the one construct in all of that remains the same and seems to never change, a few tinkering here and there, is the JFF. And that's the most influential group for football on the island. And I don't see where we're making material difference in how we operate and how we change over that organization to allow the game to grow. Because same people with the same mindset, same intellect, doing the same thing, not the best outcome. Good night.
Good night, Kranky. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. So far, so good. The other night I was on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking you, I was proposing a plan to moving forward.
Yes.
Right. Do you see what's going on in the media right now?
In terms of?
In terms of
which media? Which media?
Overseas and media back home, and us YouTubers. Well, you guys, you YouTubers.
Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to the sequence of just everything unraveling, everything being exposed, you have one of the most powerful guys that came out to speak the other day on Ryan's show, which nobody thought he would come out and speak about how corrupt this compromise Speid is, right?
Are you talking about the owner from Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, Peter Gu,
right?
The millionaire. Right?
Okay.
And you have you have other millionaires that's sitting on the fence waiting for something to happen, right? And I don't know what it will take for you YouTubers to get together to drive the force behind what's going on. Why is it so hard, Kranky?
Because we're not interested in getting together. No, I'm just telling you the fact. We're not interested in getting together.
Hold on. So your point. So you see something is burning down, like it's going down fast, right? And you see this happening rapidly, and you and your coworkers, I'll call them, can do something about it, and you rather watch it burn down than trying to do something.
Everybody's doing their thing. No, you're conflating two things. You're saying it should be a collective approach versus individual approach, right?
Correct.
And I'm saying you have to be able to work with people to be able to do that. And I don't see that.
You don't believe that, Kranky.
No, you have to be able to work with people to be able to do that. And people don't want to work. But look, there's a difference between, I'm going to give you an example to determine. You could have two people in corporate environment who hate each other and they work for a common outcome. It doesn't happen in other forums like that, like with Jamaicans or even black people in general. It just doesn't happen.
So was something wrong with Jamaicans? That's what you said?
Jamaicans I said black people are Jamaicans in general. We don't seem to have that ability because we like to beat our chest and see how tough we are and how this we are and how real we are. Some of the groups are more deceptive in terms of how they operate. So they will conceal their true feelings to achieve some objective. We're not into that. We like to be what we call genuine and real. And that's how we operate. And that ain't going to change. And it overcomes any level of intellect you have. The emotion takes over, the intellect is put aside.
So, Kranky, what you're telling me is the Ryans, yourself, the JD, JT, y'all get up every day, form a show.
Retirement, I think you should, that's a dead horse. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not happening. From where I sit, not happening. They can get together. I'm not getting together. I'm going to tell you right now. So people, there's no ambiguity in terms of I'm saying this.
But that's my problem, Kranky. And this is my issue with the older generation, right?
Yeah.
You'll always say that the younger
I would love to get together. I would love for them to get together. I would love it.
But Kranky, no, you just made a bold statement. And that's my issue with the older generation and the younger generation. We have to meet each other down the middle, right? But the younger generation now, y'all for some reason think that and Kranky, you should know, you have a nephew that you said that, y'all are pretty close and he shows you ideas, you show him idea. Then why can that not transcend?
As I said, the other YouTubers can all get together, do their thing, and some will do it individually because some of them don't get along with each other. And I hope they all do fantastically well, every single one of them. I believe I can be more effective being an individual than being part of a collective. Even though I advocate for collectivism, if there's such a word, for people to work collectively together, because there's more strength in numbers and more power in numbers and more power in the collective. And at this point in time, I think I work best as an individual and not in a collective. So I don't have any aspirations or goal to work with a group to do whatever it is. Because you know why it doesn't work? We all have different ways of addressing this, and it will never be a consensus. Some people believe they should be torn down and throw away. Some believe, you know what? You can't change them, so you work with them. Some believe you just support the team, regardless of the JFF, and you will never have a consensus. So why go beat your head against a wall before you go? Because you know it's going to turn out. It ain't gonna never be a consensus.
This is shocking, man. I mean, and that's my problem, like with the older generation, right? And this is why I tell these youths that's out there, listen, if y'all waiting for a 63-year-old man to bring y'all to the promised land, go jump off a bridge. No, seriously, if because it won't happen. Listen, guys, we're the one who've been waiting for, because. Kranky, I thought you are very smart intellectually. You know how to crunch numbers. Like, you can put this together in a split second. But
here's what you're missing, though. I don't think you understand what you're asking. So we have, you could put YouTubers in about 3 or 4 different groups, right? And they're in different locations. The ones who are local have to deal with the repercussions of being adverse to the JFF. Not happening. The ones
not Kranky.
No, I'm not. But determine you're not listening.
Go ahead. Let me let you finish.
It's not happening with them, and I understand their decision, and I can live with their decision, right? If I was in their situation, I may do the same thing. So you have to do whatever it's going to do to whatever objective you are to achieve it. The ones who are overseas, they're disparate in their views. It's all over the place, and their mechanism and methodology that they employ to do things is also different. Some are more confrontational than others. Some want to do things a certain way. We'll never have consensus. So you could try to bring everybody together with different views, and then the first question is going to be who's leading and who's not leading. And you're going to go through all this stuff where you don't want to deal with that. You just want to figure out how to bring a group together. That's your audience. Inform and educate them while you get information in from them to help inform your view also. And provide them guidance in a very thoughtful way about what we call direction of travel, which is what way to go in. Not just get emotional, not just cuss, but provide a perspective. Like tonight I talked about boycott. I am not boycotting the JFF and the football. I'm not going to boycott because I don't think boycott is effective. Because if I'm going to do something in life, people, it has to be effective. If I'm going to deny myself,
boycott, what do you mean?
So you stop supporting them financially, viewership, whatever it takes to support the football team. You're not supporting them.
Did you see what happened to Elon Musk?
What happened to Elon Musk?
Did you see the Tesla stocks crashing after he went and tried to interfere with Doge and everything else? Did you? I mean, Kranky, I know you paid.
So determine. Here's what you're missing from this whole equation, and that's why people respond to JFF. Jamaicans don't really support the Reggae Boyz, you know.
And this is why.
That's why boycotts are ineffective.
Kranky, no. This is why I said to you last time I was on the show, but you wasn't hearing me. The money is in the States, as in Europe. That's what I said to you, but it went over your head.
No, it didn't. No, nothing goes over my head. It didn't go over my head.
I'm not worried about Jamaica, but you know why I'm not worried about Jamaica? Because the money starts here. The influence is.
But determine it went over your head because you're missing my point. You think it went over my head, went over your head. The people in the States don't support the Reggae Boyz either. Not in the way you think they do. Okay, people.
If you have a game in New Jersey, Jamaicans will show up.
Determine nonsense. Determine nonsense. So let me determine. Drink some water. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
So when we had COVID, people, I went to Orlando for the whole sequence of game for the Gold Cup during COVID. When we played Guatemala and New Jersey, I went to the game. When we played US in St. Louis, I went to the game. When we played in Dallas, I went to the game. You can't count the Jamaican Empire one enterati, Josh. In New York, Guatemala, friendly game, no Jamaican to turn up.
No Jamaican live in St. Louis, Kranky. I'm all around.
People, you're determined. People, you're determined. Do I live in state? Wait. Do I live in? Wait. So you have to live there to go there. You live in the States. You said the state. You didn't say a given state. The states, people, the state, the United States of America. Is it playing coming like a bus?
Your argument.
Yeah.
USA, whenever they bring these games, these Gold Cup and all this foolishness, where they bring it?
Why does it matter?
No, hold on. No, it does matter because I'm challenging your argument. It's flawed.
Determine.
Kranky, I gave you the chance to talk. Let me talk now, please. Kranky, you just said, right? They have the game in Dallas and they have the game in St. Louis, right? And what I just said is whenever CONCACAF is playing the Gold Cup, they have it in California and they have it in Texas. Why is that, Kranky?
What do you mean, why is that? There's a bunch of teams who play in those competitions. What does it matter why it is? That's why they feel the US want to have the best support. But I'm just saying, but determine. You're missing the point. You know why you're missing the point, determine? Mm-hmm. Here's what you're missing. Mm-hmm. And people, determine is being educated tonight. Wherever, I'm going to use a word I don't like to use. I don't want to use a word. Wherever the game is played in the US. Remember this, people. Wherever the game is played in the US. Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, all those teams, them sell out for them fan there. I went to New Jersey for Guatemala and me, Minzy, what's going with me again? Neo, we are our own little section, few of us. Guatemala with them whole family everywhere in New Jersey. You think New York is full of Guatemalan? We have more Jamaican in New York than Guatemalan, I would presume. Right? When we go to any other state, if you go play Mexico, it is Mexico. Mexico kind of big and no people. If you go play Guatemala at Texas, if you play Honduras at Texas, if you play Nicaragua at Texas, it full up of them people. Don't Jamaican them scanty. Stop the nonsense determining about Jamaican travel to different states. There are a bunch of Jamaican live in Texas.
But listen what I'm saying, Kranky. I'm telling you something that I know. I'm not actually. I'm telling
No, you're not telling me anything you know because you don't know what you're talking about. No, that's nonsense you're talking. That's nonsense.
When you play Mexico, when Mexico plays in the Gold Cup, they play 9 times out of 10. They play in California or they play in Texas.
It doesn't matter. Okay. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wait. No. People. It only matters from this context. Listen, it only matters from context. The US and the CONCACAF Gold Cup are trying to generate as much revenue as possible. They're going to go where most of the fans go, which is Mexico and the US. Explain the Guatemalan fans to me in New York where they sell out in a friendly game when Jamaica play them. Explain that.
Kranky, again. I can't explain the Guatemalan fans. You know why I can't explain it? Because I don't have enough research to explain it. But one thing I can explain is CONCACAF is no fool. So whenever they play again, whenever they have games with Mexico and they have games with US, most 9 times out of 10 is in Texas or is in California.
But it doesn't explain that Guatemalans travel, El Salvadorans travel, and we don't travel.
No, Kranky, you cannot say that. You know why you can't say that? Because you don't know how much the total diaspora that lives in these countries, the Guatemalas, where they're like in Jersey or in Dallas. We don't know.
Where do most Jamaicans live? Where do most Jamaicans live in the US? Where do most Jamaicans live?
For me, most Jamaicans live is in between Jersey and New York.
No.
That's okay. So where is it then?
Based on studies that have been done, I was surprised about this. Most Jamaicans live in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. Then it's between Florida and New York and New Jersey, because tri-state is sort of very similar, right? In essence, that's how it sort of works. So there's much more Massachusetts than I even knew that existed. It's kind of shocking, actually. So East Coast, so people East Coast have a ton of Jamaican between Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Washington, D.C., Maryland, right? Mm-hmm. Then play at the Midlands. Nobody no there. Nobody no come, people. And Guatemalans like, no, it's so shameful. You got the game and just pure Guatemalans around you. Grandfather, granddaughter, son. It's a family outing.
Last time Jamaica played in
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
And you didn't see any Jamaicans there? That's what you're saying?
If there were 50,000, there was probably 200. The rest of them were Guatemalans. If you go Texas, St. Louis was even worse. You could point out Jamaicans in the audience in St. Louis. There's no excuse to play a nation. There's no excuse to play a Nation League game. When they played in Canada, though, when they played in Canada, quite a bit of Jamaicans turned up in Canada for the CONCACAF World Cup. Quite a bit of Jamaicans turned out. Not the same in the States. Not the same in the States.
But that's what I'm saying, Kranky. I cannot say that because the fact is this, right? When these games are being set up, it is not prone to us because we don't have the numbers, man. You can't just throw something out and just, no, it don't work like that.
I gave you 4 examples. I gave you Texas. I gave you California, Texas, New York, Florida. I can't give them. What's the one you want? Those are examples.
Kranky, again, it's for us to play in St. Louis. I'm not expecting one Jamaican there. I don't know if we got a Jamaican restaurant in St. Louis.
Then you're not committed to the football team then. You just talk a good game.
Because it's not about talk a good game. You have to understand the numbers.
Okay, have you been to any of those games determined? Not like a fisherman do here. Determined? Have you been to any of those games? Which games have you been to?
Kranky, I was. What do you mean, man?
So wait. Did you go to St. Louis? Wait. Did you go to St. Louis? Did you go to St. Louis?
I went to the one in where we played El Salvador down in I drove there. Was it Carolina? No, it wasn't Carolina.
That's a long time ago, isn't it?
No, Kranky, what are you saying, bro?
It's a long time ago. When last we played El Salvador? People.
No, we played. It was not on the Grimmy. It was on the Grimmy. I went to that game.
We played El Salvador. I'm trying to remember when.
I went to the game. I went to a couple of games in Jamaica. Where we played Trinidad. I went to that game. Kranky, I go to a lot of games, bro. I go to a lot of games.
I didn't see you in St. Louis. I didn't see you in Florida. I didn't see you in Guatemala, New Jersey.
No,
I didn't see you in Texas.
No, I didn't go to Florida. Didn't go to St. Louis. Most of the games that I go to is strictly Jamaica, to be honest. Those are most.
But that's the point I'm making. So you said diaspora. We're not supporting the football. I'm sorry, we're not supporting the football, people. That's why JFF don't give a damn if we want to boycott or not, because we're not supporting the football to make it work. They what? Okay, here's the thing. If you were going to the games and you sell out the stadium, fans have clout. Because JFF broke. No, not JFF broke people. Broke. So I'm never go local coach. Man, keep talking. Them broke. They expect money from Gold Cup. No money.
I don't believe that.
Them broke. You know, me say I them have some money from Adidas, and that can only last but so long.
Because these people is just like the Jamaican government. They always find money to do what they want to do. This is a Ponzi scheme. Right? Anytime the government say they don't have money, but yet they have money to do this. JFS said they don't have money, but yet they have money to do that. I don't believe it.
I was told before the Gold Cup that they have to do well there to generate some income. They didn't. They got knocked out in the first round. They were also planning and they say, you know what, $12 million can come in from the World Cup. Zilch. The JFF has so where does JFF get money from? Apart from local sponsorship and some Adidas money and some government FIFA money. Those are normal recurring. Those are normal recurring money. There's no extra money.
Well, listen. According
them fly private plane, them fly private plane, them fly private, them fly private, and Spain for fly private.
Listen, you're right, but guess what? Speed was down in Africa, going there, all over.
No, I think that was FIFA money. That was FIFA. In part of technical committee of FIFA.
Well, let's get back on the numbers, Kranky. Right? You are talking about we don't support. Fine. We don't support. That's black people all around the globe. Let's be honest about it.
What do you mean in terms of what?
In terms of the money, the black money bounce back in the community. It doesn't exist. It bounces back in other people community. That's a fact. So we don't support each other. That's everywhere around the world. From Africa is the same thing. If I start a supermarket in Liberia, 9 times out of 10, my supermarket is not going to be full like the Chinese man or the Indian. This is what black people do.
Well, that's a very blanket statement. I'm gonna take. No, wait. I'm gonna expand upon that to say this. Here's part of the problem we have. When we start businesses, we don't know the price of our products. And so when you go buy the product, you get frustrated because you go to the Asian person and they sell it for $10 and we sell it for $15. And then we say, well, we have this cost and that cost. And they buy in bulk and we don't. Secondly, I'm going to give you an example. When you price products, you go to a restaurant. I'm going to give you an example, a perfect example. If I say, I just want you to give me some shrimp and no food, and they say the food costs $15, you will charge me for the shrimp alone, say $7. If I say give me the food and no shrimp, you're gonna charge me $7 CMW or $6. If you go to an Asian restaurant, they'll charge you $10 for the shrimp. In fact, they charge you $12 for the shrimp and $3 for the food. Because that's how what they might do price it based on cost of the material and then their input and labor, and then they're gonna price some built-in percentage they want to make. We don't do that. If we bifurcate the product, we exaggerate, I should say, the price for each of them separately versus a collective, versus as combined. And so when you go buy from them, it happened to me with the restaurant, and I would say to them, hey, how come you just ask for yam and some rice and you charge me like $8 for that? What kind of idiot thing that?
Where is this? Where was this?
In Brooklyn.
Okay.
In fact, more than one. It happened more than one. And I'm saying to myself, we don't know the price product. And when I go to the Asian restaurant, for give me just white rice alone. I don't really go to Asian restaurant that much, but I still do that when I work in the city. Them they charge you $2 for the white rice. If you go on one black store, they will charge you $5-6 for the white rice. You're like, it ain't cost no dime $5-6 for some little rice, a 2 spoonful of rice. That's nonsense. So our pricing of products is so bad, and our pricing for the entire collective is so bad. And I agree that sometimes they have their sources and it's cheaper. But we have to do a job of learning the business and how we do the business, because people get frustrated. And that's why they don't want to come buy from you, because they're looking to save as much money as possible.
That way. But Kranky, I agree and somewhat, but I don't agree wholeheartedly. Right?
Okay.
In business, you always find ways to manipulate people's mind. So the rice may cost $2 in the Chinese store, right?
Mm-hmm.
They won't give you no napkin. Sometimes they won't give you no fork, right? Or you ask for, let's say, shrimp fried rice, right? You're supposed to get 5 pieces of shrimp, right? But when you open up your thing, you see 3 pieces of shrimp. That's another way how to manipulate the market. That's what Chinese do, and they do it well. Then you have to look at the connectivity with Chinese people. They're well connected, right? Black folks just got into this game, right? So it's a whole heap of factors.
So you saying I should pay more for the same product? What you're saying?
No, I'm not saying you should pay more for the same product. What I'm trying to, you say that they don't know how to price, and what.
But they don't know how to. But I'm telling you, I gave you an example. They know how to price.
Kranky, and what I'm trying to say is, you're saying that the Chinese know how to price, and what I'm trying to tell you is the Chinese know exactly what they're doing as far as pricing.
By the way, determined not to cut you. See the comment on the screen. That's a perfect example, people.
What is that?
He said, did you not see the DRC supporting Guadalajara? How many Jamaicans were in Guadalajara? Determined.
Hold on, Kranky. Do you know how much people live in that's out here from Congo? Do you know the population of Congo? That's what I'm saying. I can't even.
Congo has 150 million people. Wait a minute, Congo has 150 million people.
I can't argue.
Don't you think we have as much? Wait, don't you think we have as much Jamaican in the US as we have Congolese?
No, Kranky. Of course not.
I don't know about that.
Of course not. Congo is like rival to like Nigerians and the Kenyas and these people. Come on, man.
No, Congo's 150 million people. We know that.
Yeah, but I can't. That's what I'm saying. But whoever said that, that's crazy, because I can't even argue that. That don't make sense. Like, if we're talking about, like, for instance, Jamaica and not even Cuba, like Jamaica and Trinidad. Yeah, probably. Because Trinidad's like 1.5 million, 2 million.
So I'm on the internet, people. I'm on the internet. According to U.S. Census Bureau estimates, over 105,000 people of Congolese origin live in the USA. Now, we got to take internet with a grain of salt. I wonder how much Jamaican live in. You think we have more than 105,000 Jamaican in the USA? Determine.
But listen.
Determine. No. Don't put. No. Without punting. Answer the question. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
If you know how Africans do things, you know. Come on.
Yeah. But let's say it's 3 times that number. Let's say it's 3 times that number. Let's say it's 300,000. We have more than 300,000 on the East Coast in the US for Jamaican. We have about 300,000 in Florida alone. What we talk about?
But you cannot keep in contact with
Determine.
Africans,
you can't keep moving the ball. You can't keep moving the needle. You can't keep moving.
You gotta know what you know, man. These Africans different.
I'm not gonna say that you're gonna know by census. Yeah, but Jamaicans do the same thing. Jamaicans do the same thing too. Jamaicans do the same
Not
thing.
on the pace, not on the pace that Nigerians do. Nigerians,
But they're Congolese. We don't know. We know what Nigerians. We know about Congolese. We don't know about Congolese.
Congolese the same. They are.
No.
They are. Cranky.
But the point. Determine. The point is lost on you in that in Guadalajara we have much more Congolese people than Jamaican, and we have more Jamaican in the US than Congolese. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, listen, because Congolese.
The only Jamaican we see where the contingent to win. The only Jamaican we see where the contingent to win there, and somebody who live in Mexico City saying that they feel love. That's how we see.
Man, yo, listen. You know what?
Because people determine was not the game. And Mexico just right now the next determine was not at the game, people.
Cranky, I got a business to run, my brother. I'll send money. If somebody
like every other Jamaican who have a job to go do, that's why they go to the game. But the Guatemalans have time. The Congolese ain't got no job and no business to run, but they find time to go to the game. And by the way, when the World Cup play in the US with all those prices, you're going to see the Englishmen come over, you're going to see the Congolese go over, you're going to see the Nigerians, if they get to the country, because you know, US have blocked them.
I already got my tickets for the Haitians. Me and my wife got tickets. So
see what I'm talking about?
But anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, Cranky, this is what I'm trying to say, right? In any movement, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have the numbers, right? You're always going to get support. Especially when people are sitting, you have a lot of people right now sitting on the fence.
So determine. I'm cut you determine, because I have to leave soon. Let's say to you determine.
Right.
You see, when Jamaica played Curacao, the stadium was sold out, right? People that climb wall. What happened to all the other games before that?
Man, you're cranky, but you have to understand our culture. No, but this is our
bandwagonist.
But I don't blame them, Cranky. You know what? After 30-something years, these bunch of losers have been losing after 30. Come on, who want to jump? This is our culture.
But determine. It goes back to my point. But determine.
He shut down the whole island.
Determine. It goes back to my point though, which is boycott is a waste of time, because if you're not supporting the program monetarily, who cares about your boycott?
Everybody cares about the boycott.
No.
You know Cranky, you know what? Even the government cares about the boycott.
No. For the football, for the Jamaica, for the Reggae Boyz, we already been boycotting the Reggae Boyz for years. It just wasn't come out and we say it explicitly. We've been boycotting them. You're not going to game, you're boycotting. Indirectly, you're boycotting. You may go on platforms and talk about it, but you're not going to the games, you're boycotting. Period. Period. Determine.
I somewhat agree with that somewhat, but we don't have the money.
Determine. You see, if the US had brought games to the Netherlands and in Boston, and we were packing the stadium, then I bring more games, you know. They may not bring US games, but they're going to bring more games. They'll play more rounds in this region. If Jamaicans were packing the stadium, it's about money. We're not packing the stadium. We're not.
Because and this is what I'm
saying. Wait, people. Wait, determine.
We don't want to pack
Determine. I've never seen a concert with Capleton, Beanie Man, Bounty, the one that's come out of jail the other day. All of them come up down Brooklyn here at this the Net Center. Pack, sold out every single time.
I was at one of them shows.
The UBS Center in Queens, Long Island, pack all the time. We find time to go to the event. We're not gonna watch a Reggae Boyz play.
But Cranky, you have to act, but you're not honest. But you know why you're not honest, Cranky? Because you know your culture, man. This is the thing. When you know your culture, is not something we should even like go back and forth on, because you know your people.
So why you boycott then if we're not gonna have no effect?
Why would it not have an effect? When you have one of the most powerful clubs in our country come out and say, you know what, this is wrong. I didn't even thinking about moving my club.
Him to invest. Him not move. Him just running more. Him not move good no way. Hey, determine. Him not move good no way. Him have investing too much. We go get the move. Him not move good no way. Okay, what you want to say?
But
nowhere.
What I'm trying to say to you is this, right? It's a reason why you have the Carnival Committee can get $165 billion from these local businessmen. It's a reason why. Right?
Yeah, because it generates economic activity and they make money because they're gonna have flows. People are going to come visit. They're going to spend their money, and business will benefit.
But that's what I'm trying to show to you. Like, you have to look at it from a state. You just made a statement a while ago when you talk about the DNA. Look at our DNA. It's all over in the English Premier League. It's all over in the MLS. But when you have a bunch of losers that don't, and I told you, Kranky, I said this to you 2 years ago. I said you cannot hire hyenas to take care of goats. I said this to you today. You didn't like it. You pushed back on it. And you see,
but I know you like these certain terms to describe people, right? So that's why I may push back.
I know you don't like it, but it's the truth, Kranky. There's no way our DNA is supposed to be all over the globe, and we're doing okay. I'm not saying that we're like superstars, but we're doing decent. And we cannot come together and put a winning team together. This is why when you see the Carnival Committee they said, you know what? Jamaica is going to be rivalry when it comes to Carnival, Trinidad and Tobago, right? Within the next 5 years, Jamaica is probably going to be number one. Because these people set their things up and they were able to say, you know what, we can make millions and billions of dollars from this. And when you are successful in doing something, that's when you have the flock of the businessman and the businesswoman coming there to support you. There's no way Jamaica have all these names. A Bunny Shaw, right? That's huge in England, right? And we have all these different English players that's coming here, but yet we can't find success.
As I said before, Jamaica is not a footballing nation, so I'm not surprised. It's not.
Jamaica
is not a footballing nation.
Kranky, I cannot. You know why? You know why I say Jamaica? When you say Jamaica is not a footballing nation, tell that to Peter Gould. When you say Jamaican is not a football nation, tell that to Renee Simone. It's not fair when you have other people that does the blueprint and you see the support and you're saying that Jamaica is not. It's a lie. It's
people. Jamaica is not a footballing nation at all. The club, the reason why JPL have financial problem, people are not going to games and support the games and provide their money. They're not.
Because they don't know how to transcend. They're dinosaurs, Kranky. They don't. It's like you, like me and you sitting here right now, Kranky, and you're telling me, you know what? I don't see it. I don't believe it. And I'm telling you, Kranky, open up your eyes. It's there. It's there, Kranky. You just don't want to see it because you're stuck. Let's listen. A man that can revamp himself over and over again, that's a successful man. When it comes to from our federation down to the league, they're stuck. They don't know how to move forward. They have no clue. Everybody that comes there, they can't work with them because they're stuck in their ways, their archaic ways. It's there. When you have a white man can come there and say, you know what, I see it, and guess what, I'm going to make money from it, and I'm going to create that space. How the hell did he do it? I don't know. How did he do it, Kranky?
I don't know.
You have a Brazilian that come here, don't even know patois. How did he do it?
Hey, he coming at a really good time. But the Gleaner just gave it a story. I'm gonna read it. Head coach of Jamaica national football team, Rudolph Speid, and his assistant Miguel Coley are expected to be reappointed to their respective positions by the Jamaica Football Federation this week. The Gleaner has been reliably informed that both men are set to resume their roles following a meeting of the JFF's technical committee, which is scheduled for April 19th. Speid's and Cody's contracts as interim coaches expired at the end of March after the Reggae Boyz failed World Cup playoff bid. Jamaica went down 0-1 to DR Congo International Playoff final in Guadalajara. However, when contacted, the JFF's president, Michael Ricketts, remained tight-lipped on the matter. I can't answer that because that is a board decision and the board meets on the 19th of April. The technical committee will make recommendations, so Speid will recommend himself and the board will ratify it on the 19th of April. The JFF boss also made it clear that the Federation has no intention of looking overseas for a coach at this time. But we don't have any intentions of going overseas for a coach. We have done very well with our coaching education program, and we have about 22 coaches who are doing their A license right now, which means there are scores of qualified coaches here, Ricketts said. It is just that only a number of them would have had the experience, but in terms of qualification, knowledge, know-how, there are a number of them who are actually on the horizon and completing their A license right now, he said. The JFF boss indicated that the hiring of the local coaches for the national senior team will also save the association millions of dollars. I am sure that we will save some money because this would be a good part of our fiscal management right now to make sure we do not expand our expenses in overseas coaches.
Cranky, 1 second. Pause. Stop. 1 second. Let me ask you a quick question. Is Rudolph Speid and Miguel Coley doing this for free?
No, what he means is that they're paying McLaren and Hogginson, each made about between $4.5 million a year. I think if my understanding was right, Tapa was making less than $100,000 a year.
Less than. Come on, we're talking about the Rudolph Speid here. He's not.
Wait. I'm getting to that. So
okay.
I figure Rudolph take about 100 and Cody take about 100.
Man, I don't. Come on, man. Rudolph Speid would never take 100 grand.
He's gonna take a. Well, he won't take a.
Cranky.
He's gonna take 100 grand. Maybe a little bit more, but he's gonna take 100 grand.
Cranky, you actually believe that? This man that's.
But 100 grand in Jamaica, 100 grand for people in Jamaica is a lot of money, you know.
Cranky, come on.
Less taxes to pay, all the perks that come with coaching. You add it all up, even you get no house and no car, but he probably take 100 grand. And Coley, I don't know what Coley making in the Middle East. Coley probably have enough money to take 100 grand too.
Cranky, I don't see a Rudolph Speid, a pompous, accomplished Rudolph Speid that's been all throughout the island, left to right, taking $100,000.
The Prime Minister was making less than 100,000 before him tripling wages. What are you talking about? The Prime Minister was making less than 100,000 before him tripling wages.
Cranky. You know it's a reason why he's the Prime Minister, right? And you know it's a reason why he continued to fight for this position, right? That's a smoke screen. You saw all these different investigations that's going on. Come on, Cranky, don't do that, man. Yeah,
but the point of the matter is, him still get paid not a lot of money.
All right, fine. You know what? If you say that you can see him getting that, I disagree 100%. But anyway, I pray that Miguel Coley take this position. I really do.
Why?
Because he'll undermine the heck out of Speid. That's what I want to happen. It's not going to work. It won't work. Based on the interview that I hear, right? This guy, he has a vengeance about him. You think he want to work under Speid? After you go out there in the world and you made sure that you did everything you're supposed to do to get what you're supposed to get, and not supposed to come work under this 63-year-old old man that don't have the requirements and the experience.
Yeah, I think he's 64.
Well, okay, 64. Imagine that. Come on, you see it. It's not going to work, but I want it to work. You know why? I want them to hire both of them. We see this chaos about this thing is about to crash. Coley already did his time as an assistant.
But maybe they promised Coley that Speid will do it for a few years and then you take over.
Cranky,
they're not going overseas, you know. They're not going overseas anytime soon.
I don't even see them going to get players from overseas based on how they sound. So, based on what they're saying, Cranky, according to them, right? If you listen to the rhetoric that's coming out from the JFF, I don't even see if they're getting players overseas.
We'll see what happens. I mean, they said they have 20 people going for the A license, which then seems to suggest they believe the coaching has improved and they believe they no longer have to go overseas to source coaches. My only concern is that this is going to sound really bad analogy, but let's think about it this way. Let's say you pass common entrance to go to Immaculate and Trenchtown Comprehensive, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like A license in Spain and A license in Jamaica. They both have the same materials, but it's who's teaching you, and it's how you're learning and who's around you. And if I look at the pass mark for like a Trenchtown Comprehensive versus Immaculate, it's night and day. There's no comparison. So the question is the A license you're getting and who's coaching you? I think Rudolph Speid mentioned the other day, the same person coaching him, the same person coach some big coach. Who him say? Forgot who he mentioned. The same person you go is pro license with is the same person who covered some major coach in the world. I forgot who it is he mentioned. Which seems to suggest he's getting the best teacher.
Why you be buying these things from these guys, man?
I'm just telling you what he said. I don't know.
No, it's not. But Kranky, when it comes to corruption in our country, it's embedded, Kranky.
I don't use the word corruption to determine. Take that back. We're not using any corruption.
You know what? You know
what? Use the word corruption.
When it comes to I don't even know. What's the different word for this?
So
when it comes to the dishonesty,
when it comes to lack of transparency,
right? All right, let's use that. When it comes to lack of transparency in our country, look, they don't even get $50,000 from the government. What do they get from the business sector? They see it. Rudolph Speid is a cancer. They don't want to give him nothing because he's a loser. He's a cancer.
Well, I wouldn't call Rudolph a loser. I think Rudolph is winning. I don't think Rudolph's a loser. I think Rudolph is winning.
He's a loser.
Even he loses.
He's a loser in the JFF. They had to run and get this guy. They forced him. What's his name? Mr. Chung. They had to go get him to come fix this crap that was going on. And they're back in it again. What does that tell you? They're a bunch of losers. So, and if I'm a businessman and I see that, you think I want to give my money to you guys? Let's make it make sense, Kranky.
Look,
I would never do it. I don't trust the organization. I don't trust who is in it because I know they can't make my money turn.
All right, determine. They another call. A person I tried to call for a long time.
But anyway, Kranky.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man. Kranky, talk to your nephew.
All right. I'll have a conversation with him. All right, cool. Bless.
All right.
This is my last call for the evening. It's going to be a short call. Go ahead, Miguel. The floor is yours.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Frank?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm under respect. Thanks for taking the call. This whole debate with the JFS and Speid and all of that. I heard you on the previous caller, you were using some comparative analogies. And I agree with you. I think the whole program and its mismanagement and failure is a reflection of how we have been doing things as a people, as a country, in a certain way. And I guess some people say Jamaica is the richest poor country because we have such rich culture, we have resources, but yet that cannot be transformed into wealth for the beneficial of the people. And even over here, when you look at, I don't know about Florida. I've never been to Florida. But even where I live in Maryland, when you look at the Jamaican restaurants, and even in New York, they look like the furniture, for the most part, look like something they go to Goodwill or some thrift store to buy. The service is extremely slow. The food is cooked, but yet you have to go 1 hour before you're really hungry to get the food in time to satisfy your hunger. You understand? And the ironic thing is that in our motto or pledge, whatever it is, say, give us vision lest we perish. And we see the lack, and back in football, we see the lack of vision in the football program. And while we're playing Speid, deservedly so, and the president, it's been 30 years since we have not been back to the World Cup, or 28 years. So it has to be something bigger than Speid and the president, Mr. Ricketts. What is it? While they're in the spotlight now, we have to look wider than that to see what is the problem. They have been there for less time that we have not been to the World Cup. So something else is wrong. You understand me? And prior to that, we haven't been there before, Mr. Samoyes. So it's either we're going to look at what the fact that we didn't do what we said, they followed the blueprint that Mr. Samoa's left. And what is that old thing that we were doing prior to Mr. Samoa's that we seem to have reverted to?
I'm listening.
Yeah, you follow me, Kranky? Yeah. So that's my thought. I was wondering what's your opinion on that.
All we have done is gone from one. Look, we made it under. So you think about it this way: Ricketts took over from Burrell, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had an interim coach after Burrell died. What's his name? Gaynor, whatever his name was. But he was just serving to fill that gap until they had Ricketts. So I'm gonna say Burrell and then Ricketts. Burrell went to the World Cup. Ricketts hasn't. That's basically it. And the rationale for getting to the World Cup, to me, has been mismanagement. And everybody want to blame players. They want to blame XYZ. They want to blame Rudolph, but Rudolph doesn't. The JFF has a board and various committees, and there are other members who escape unscathed in terms of criticism because they're in the background, but they're the ones signing off on these decisions, not just the president, but they're never in the forefront. You rarely ever see them in any environment. They come, they do their thing, and they go back home. They get their allocation, they get their allowance, they go back home. And that's part of the problem. There's a lack of accountability and leadership and lack of transparency. And because they're protected by FIFA, they can do whatever they want to do because it's not unique to Jamaica. Brazil, I mentioned before, Brazil tried to change its president. The court says, yes, he has to be changed. FIFA said, hell no. And FIFA won, as it normally does. And they still decide you don't want to play international football. So, and no government want to take the responsibility on, especially in countries like Brazil or even Jamaica, to deny football to the nation because the government want to interfere in who runs the organization. So I do think that it's the leadership that's the main problem. And until the leadership, I've said this, that I don't think the leadership of any government institution, any institution in Jamaica, should be exclusive to those who will live on the island. I don't think the island have enough intellectual capital to be exclusive to the island in leadership position. It just doesn't. You've exported more of the talent overseas than you have locally. That's a fact. And that talent is willing to come back and help in some shape or form. Even if some of it's remote, you should allow that to happen because they're citizens. This concept of following this model, which is only locals on the ground should be involved in the decisions, that's nonsense. It doesn't work because most of the countries that you compare yourself to are not what I call migration companies. You know, if you think about percentage-wise, Jamaica may be one of the countries, percentage-wise, that has the most persons who have left the island to go seek opportunities overseas on a per capita and percentage basis. One of the highest number. And yet, those citizens who migrate or have offsprings who are Jamaican citizens, they don't have the same rights and privileges in terms of opportunities on the island like those who live there. And it's not even balanced, as they want to call it, as people want to say in terms of football. So until you do that, if you don't have, in everything you do in life, you should make the pool as wide as possible to ensure you can get the best people for any given role. And we're not doing that. And that's part of the problem Jamaica faces. So until Jamaica realize that you got to be like a Israel where, you know what, all the Jamaicans are truly Jamaicans. You can move to Jamaica and do whatever you want to do in terms of opportunities. You will embrace them. You will support them. And if you feel welcome someplace, you want to give back more and more, even though diaspora give a ton nowadays. That's not happening, Miguel. So I don't know where we go from here in terms of the football. And I hear a lot of people talking about boycott. I don't think boycott is going to be effective because we weren't supporting it anyway.
I agree. I agree with you when you made that point that we are more of a bandwagonist. We go with the trend. We go with what is in. You understand me? And yeah, that is the culture that we have to develop. So if it's not popping, we're not shopping. But the thing though, and I think one of the biggest disappointment that even Hal Grimston had when he came here, he knew that we weren't a rich country, but he knew that we got a lot of rainfall and we have good weather. So he was expecting at least some good football field. And when he came, he said clearly he saw lovely golf courses, not one good enough field to play on, including the National Stadium. And it makes you wonder how serious are we about football? Is it that we just want the hype of going to World Cup? Is it that we want the money that it brings? Or is it that we seriously want to develop this sport as a serious business that can help young people and others? You understand me?
Yeah, but
Uh,
I heard Carl Brown interview there, and he was very informed. Because Carl Brown played for Jamaica and coached Jamaica. He said football is a poor person's sport in Jamaica, which then tell you everything. Unlike in other countries where football is used as a basis for a number of different things. In Europe, it's a business, a big business. In some other countries, they see the opportunities and they leverage it and sell players and generate income. In Jamaica, as you alluded to, when Hugginson came, he was very surprised at the manicured lawns, or call them, for the golf courses, and then what I'm gonna call it, what's left in terms of field, the cow pastures for the football
hmm
field, right? Which then says football is not that important, and the people who
Exactly.
control the resources are not investing in football.
Exactly. So it's like even when you get a good coach, it's like trying to serve an expensive meal in a dirty plate. You understand me? It's not gonna look well. And when and I said, change is as strong as its weakest link, Kranky. So when you get even these English players, English born players, sorry, mixed with the locally born players, it's like they're playing two different sports, brother. You understand me?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're playing two different. I just think,
To me, you understand? Because
yeah,
Jamaica, the locally born Jamaicans, they play with a certain mindset, knowing that if you kick the ball, it's not going to travel at a certain pace to you. You understand me? You cannot take your eyes off the ball, which is probably the reason why they play so slow. You can't take your eyes off the ball because at any time point it might detour because of some bump on the field. You understand me? So they develop a certain thing. I don't know if you ever heard the thing where they say there's some people in this country, I think it's Africa, where after a while, because they have to go on a hill to get water, their calves become so big, and after a while, the children start being born with the same thing. You understand me? So after a while, it seems like it become embedded in our DNA to play a certain way, and it's hard to come out of, even when you try. Which is why a lot of people say when you go to England, it's like you have to break them right down and build them back up. You understand me? But so I'm saying this to say that I don't think we take the football serious, Bridget. I was trying to build from top all the time to go down to bottom. We need to build from bottom to top. Fix the fields, get proper training and all of these things. And instead of just trying to wait every 4 years to go to the World Cup.
yeah. I do think in Jamaica, though, I think the government has to get more involved in the sport, not necessarily controlling the JFF, but they have to work with the JFF and the business community if they really want the football to progress and go forward. This should be a learning, and this should be a lesson, and this should be a turning point for Jamaica football. Because the Prime Minister was very much involved and feel part of the work and went to games when Jamaica were on the cusp of going. Is he showing the same interest when the lights are not on him, when the crowd is not there? If there is support from all corners for the football, then the football will progress. Are the parents
Mm-hmm.
supporting the kids who are playing, right? When you go to football
Mm-hmm.
games, are the parents there, is just the kid there, and there's no support structure? Because if there's holistic support, an initiative, and a move to make football part of your DNA, then you'll see some progress, right? Because everybody's invested. If it's
Mm-hmm.
not, if you just do your own thing, then we're not going to go nowhere. And right now, the future doesn't look bright. I think for some people in Jamaica, it may look bright because they're saying they have all these A license and people going for the pro license. But what are you going to do when you get the license? They don't have no resources for the way you need to do.
To implement it,
Yeah,
implement what you learn.
yeah.
My last point, because I'm just waiting to see closing out. Sorry about it. Now, since it seemed inevitable that Speed and Coley will be at the head of this program, right? to the disappointment of many, it seems. I don't know how much I've read the survey, but Speed thing says that a lot of people support you. But so them say if you can work against something, you work with it. So what I'm saying, like persons like yourself who have a platform, why don't you try get Speed so that and listen to Speed outline to me your plans going forward, and then we will hold you accountable. You don't think that's an approach I could be taking?
Well, first of all, JFF people not coming on my channel. I'm being boycotted. And it's effective boycott. It's not effective boycott for me because they don't want to come. That's their business. I asked them. They said they want to come. I remember one person, JFF, I asked to come, and the person been promising from last year. He ain't turned up. I said, you know what? It's your prerogative. There may be things up in the background I don't know about. I'm not going to push nobody to come on my channel. You want to come? You come. You don't want to come? Do your thing. Do you. Right? But I don't think that's going to happen given the view by certain members of the JFF of Kranky being very critical, and therefore people in the JFF should not engage with him. I don't know if it's a planned thing or just individual making a decision. That's their prerogative. When I interview people, I interviewed the president already. I interviewed Chung. I interviewed Speed. I don't think they walk away saying Kranky was rude or obnoxious or XYZ. Some people would say I don't ask hard enough questions. Some people say my questions were too hard. We're always never going to have consensus, right? You ask what you think people want to know about. But as you're saying, yes, it'd be good if Rudolph come on and explain. But Rudolph has never said no one come. Rudolph says he can't go to everybody's channel. I was like that statement. He doesn't say no, come. He say, I got enough channel, he can't just come to my channel. And that's fine. I can live with that. That's his prerogative. He should go where he feels more comfortable, and should go where he thinks can add more value, and what form he thinks can give him the exposure or whatever it is he's trying to attain. He should go there. I am fine with that.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a press conference. So if it's even the press conference, one can ask him, so Mr. Speed, give something to work with. Give us a roadmap as to what is your plan, because we can't keep doing the same thing. So between you and Mr. Coley, right? And I personally think that with Mr. Coley's experience and with Speed's determination, even though it may not be the best choice, I think if they put hands and heart together, they can do it. And they have other
well, no, look, whoever's coaching the Jamaican football team, I want them to be successful. I don't care who it is. If they're coaching Jamaica football team and I love Jamaica football, I want to be successful. Even if I have a view, and it may be view negative on the person running the program, right? I want to be successful, because if they're successful, I'm happy. Jamaica is doing well. They look good on the world stage. They're generating income. They can invest in the football. I am all for that. But if they do things which I don't agree with, I'm going to criticize them. They may not like it. I can't help that either. But I hope whoever's running the program, but they made the announcement that a person is successful. I hope that's the case. And as you're saying, yes, I hope they take the responsibility, accountability, and the respect deserved by the football community to come out and outlay to us what is it they plan to do going forward, because the transparency has not been there.
No. Okay, my brother. I appreciate you taking my call, Kranky.
All right. Thanks for calling. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Same to you.
All right, people. I'm going to close the program down by saying a couple of things. One is, Fisherman come my program and get me perturbed because he believes I am always the one who's conjuring up or bringing up the local versus diaspora. I've said this numerous times. I don't have a preference for who plays for Jamaica in terms of where the person was born, where they reside. What I have a preference for is quality. I don't have a preference for mediocrity. I have a preference for fairness, not being unfair. I have a preference for objectivity, not situation where someone is compromised. I have a preference for us to think about ourselves as a people, trying to do what's best and ensure that we all do our part to ensure the country of Jamaica is doing well, that we all support the country in whatever method and ways that we can, that we don't think about ourselves as being local versus diaspora, that we get rid of this nonsense. We're not even big enough to be fighting about things that are not worth fighting about. We're fighting about YouTubers fighting about nothing really. Just like to criticize each other for no reason. Or us as a people fighting about where we're going to boycott or not boycott and who for play or not for play and who ban where and who don't ban where. Oh, this really garbage, to be honest. The fact of the matter, what we should be focused on is, you know what? How can we all contribute to improving the situation in Jamaica to allow those kids to get the best chance for success? That's one. Should the JFF be working with the players in England, even the ones who are not naturalized, to come to Jamaica to run clinics, to build familiarity with people on the island, to invest in I hear Antonio investing in Ghana, to invest in football academies on the island? Why isn't it we're thinking that way versus thinking as us versus them? When it's all about us, there is no them. Right? We should be very focused on how can we get the best players who may have Jamaican nationality, whether it's in Canada, I hear somebody in Holland coming, US, England, to play for the country, to choose the country versus England, Scotland, Ireland, to choose the country. And what mechanism can we employ to build relationships with them? So when they're making that decisions, they believe it's a true alternative, that they have a true alternative to England, versus we're saying we don't have resources, we don't have this, and they don't feel welcome if they consider playing for Jamaica. We keep telling them that I'm a foreigner. We keep telling them I'm a reject. We keep using the derogatory term to destroy them. And also, vice versa, when we have kids in Jamaica with potential, the JFF and the clubs and the agent and everyone else is finding ways to get in the exposure, to go on trial, to allow them to show if they have what it takes to matriculate to a higher level. And then they can also come back and play for the national team. I'm not saying there's no one in Jamaica right now who can do that. I'm saying it's very difficult to judge, and the eye test to me doesn't work because I have no idea what I'm looking at and what it is because of the competition they're playing against. And sometimes you may even have good players who look bad because of who they're playing with. I make a pass where you're supposed to be there, you don't move. I look like I can't pass the ball, but it's you who didn't move into the space. So how do I really judge that player and their capability when the environment they're playing in doesn't allow them to clearly demonstrate if they can compete at a high level? My hope is that when Rudolph takes over, which I think he will with Coley, that they're working with Andrew Peart to truly improve the football in Jamaica across the board. And they have a short-term, medium-term, and long-term plan about doing so. And that they focus on both the technical skills and the mental. Because I do think the mental is under-resourced, is undervalued, and is not coached as well as it should. The mentoring, the coaching, the guidance, the advocacy is not being provided as it should to help kids develop mentally, especially those from challenged neighborhood, and that some of the bad habits that they may generate or learn or being embedded in them from their communities is managed in a way to allow them to flourish and to improve as individuals, not just as footballers. Because always remember this, not even 1% of those kids will go on to be pros, and they have to live with us in society. So we should be trying to develop those kids as a person, as an individual, mentally, not just technically, to allow them to be successful. That's my little speed for the evening. Thanks for being here. Before you leave, please hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to get to 16,000 before the end of this month. I thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. It's almost 12 o'clock? And these time fly fast when you're having fun. But